weekend for all of us, oh God, to enter into a new year. And I thank you for doing it today. In Jesus' precious name.
Bringing the hot topics to you.
Could we please be informed that there are no bad children, it's just bad parents? That is the reason that children it's only bad parents.
Bad parents.
Working together.
Well, the amount of transformation I see transforming around Carriacou. The long life, health and strength man want.
That's what you want now, right?
Yes, because I'm looking forward for big things, as in Jamaica say, big things are going on for 2024.
Connecting the dots.
I want to encourage the one man to continue with his one-man men.
Yes,
exactly.
Because it's the benefit of the country. What did he do for Carriacou? All these things that he's saying, whenever they make statements, the recording is there. You know, we in the media, we have it.
Working together.
Yes, so I want to grade him pursuant to senior Cambridge, so to speak. I want to give him A+.
Speak Out Unfiltered.
It's always an opportunity that I look forward to when we can discuss and look at the issues that affect us together as a people.
So, the budget was really a good budget. The government is doing a whole lot. They're doing for the people. They're opening the eyes of the people. This budget is the best budget I heard since after the revolution. I never heard a budget good like that, and it's for the people. A people budget, you call that. I am very pleased with this government.
Speak Out Unfiltered. The opinions and ideologies expressed on this program, Speak Out Unfiltered. It's the views of its rightful owners and not of Vibes FM 101.3. Speak Out Unfiltered.
Every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Unfiltered. And I mean it.
Gonna take the music down and just say good morning again to you right here on Vibes FM. Welcome to the program Speak Out Unfiltered for today, Thursday, looking at the 14th day of November. Good morning, good morning, good morning to our listeners already on Facebook, on YouTube. Good morning to you. What about those of you in the diaspora? Good morning as well. Grenada, Caracol, Peter Matney, good morning. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, our neighbors next door, always good morning to you. And I do hope that everything is fine as you are locking it down to your program. To remind you, it's interactive, your program, Speak Out Unfiltered for today. And our telephone numbers to interact with us is always the same, 403-0101. 403-0101 and also 443-0101. 443-0101. We also have 458-1914. 458-1914. As always, there are a lot of things on for discussion, but let me introduce my panel. And first of all, I'm going to go right over and say hello to you, Doctor. I shouldn't say Doctor. Sometimes we look to change the name, but I'm going right over to say hi to you, Solio. Solio, are you there? Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you fine. Yes, no problem at all.
Fine. Well, good
how you
morning. And I'm fine, thanks. And I hope the same for you. This morning, I'm proud to announce that I had my first jogging this morning.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah, man.
All right, okay.
The hawk is beginning to appear. And I couldn't stay more than 2 laps because no matter how nice the weather it is, it's not Lauriston Road.
I mean, there's always some humor in whatever you're saying, so we know it's not Lauriston Road. But you're trying to emphasize how much the difference is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But so I had a nice little jog this morning, and I've been, as usual, monitoring Vibes all the way. And some of these things that I was just thinking aloud, I mean, they've been mentioned a couple of times. There's something that Kim Jones mentioned as I was thinking about it. He came right on and mentioned it. But as far as I see, we still have to do what we must do. That is try to educate our population, especially the youngsters.
So, Leo, let me just ask you to just pause for the cause there because I didn't introduce you yet. Coy, Milton.
Oh, no.
He's still in the show.
Yeah. Well, no.
Tim, I'm sorry. Let me ask to interrupt you because, once is a mistake, twice is a habit. And I don't want to be caught with my pants down.
Today
I was going to leave the best for last, but because you interrupted, I have to come back in and say good morning to my near and dear friend, Mr. Coy. I hope all is well with you, sir, and we'll talk more a little later.
All right.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
And I thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
So now let me turn the microphone back over to Solio. You mentioned this morning that you were, observing and listening to a program. I think you said Kim Jones was making some statements.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Right.
no, you was talking about an incident where the ex-prime minister was blaming this current administration for the lack of medical supplies, etc. And I'm saying, but even in death, when you should be grieving, I don't care, you just lost a dear friend, well, at least give yourself that period, that hour to be righteous, no man. You're choosing that to accuse somebody of that which is not true. So you wonder what kind of people that we're dealing with. And it bothers me. We'll talk a little more about it little later, Kim, but that pained me.
I know, and I share the same view as you as well, too. But sometimes people take this opportunity to just make some statements that are unnecessary, and when you should be in a different mode, trying to see if you can bring some sort of a closure and some sort of a console, and things like that. You're using it on a platform which is not true. The whole thing is not
exactly true.
It's not true. Anyway, but as you say, we're going to leave that for just a while. We're going to get back on that day. But the first thing I wanted to touch on this morning, as a matter of fact, our condolences going out to those in Pitimatnik, I don't know, Koi, Leo, you're privy to realize that the rain that we had on Tuesday, one person died in Grenada,
That I heard.
Yes, yes. And,
And
yes.
Is a resident of Pitimatnik?
Yes, she's there.
Yes, okay.
She was a teacher, in South Africa, in
On
working in
mainland,
Grenada,
on
in
mainland,
mainland
yes,
Grenada,
yes.
And because of the heavy rains, apparently, we don't know the exact story what transpired yet, but our heart goes out to the family for the loss, and she had a son. I think she was going to pick up a son as well too, according to the reports that we've been getting. And they're in mourning right now, and it's the way it happened too. As far as we are hearing, the police is still doing some investigation to find out exactly what transpired. But it's whenever there's a death of a young person in particular, and in those kind of circumstances, it really it's something that we have to just try to see if we could deal with it and make maybe try to avoid in the future something like that from happening. People have to be a little bit more cautious, if possible, in situations of the nature. But so Leon, you heard about it, I know, right?
oh, definitely. I heard about this as a matter of fact since yesterday, probably shortly after it happened. I was made aware of the situation. And talking about offering condolences to the lady who lost her life so tragically, I think today might be the funeral of Mrs. Blair. Was it today or yesterday?
Yes, Blair.
That is Matthew Blair's wife, Odinga's mother.
No, I didn't. I'm not too sure, so I can't really say much. But I don't think so. I didn't get a follow up on that as yet. No.
Yes, those people are some fixtures of Petit Martinique, and I'd like to extend my condolences to the Blair family on the loss of their mother and wife and sister and whatever have you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But speaking about what transpired, that climate change where we're seeing, and it's really taking an effect all around, all
Yes.
around, because not as we've experienced earlier on this year, that terrible hurricane barreling down our way, and that was a category 5 in our view, most likely, and we are faced with the situation now whereby these things are coming a little more frequent maybe, and they are more dangerous without warning.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And that we wonder due to the climate change, the systems coming our way, they'll be a little more frequent and a little hotter.
Yeah, more
Well,
intense.
well, not just a little hotter, but very much hotter. As we see in the case of Beryl, I mean, that kind of a fury was unprecedented. And I looked at the flood in Grenada yesterday and the volume of water coming down, especially River Road in the St. John's River. I could only remember one occasion in the past when I was a youngster going to Presentation College where we had that torrential downpour and where the river will actually join with the sea under the Green Bridge, we call the Busherie. A youngster almost lost his life in that time. That brought back such sad memories. But I hope, dear hope boy, that deluge wouldn't be frequent because it is doing a lot of damage, infrastructural damage, So we have to pray for the best.
Because when I look at the water, and it's just amazing to see the type of the amount of debris too as well too, and the region of water coming down, and in some instances I understand in Grenada the sea was joined to the
river.
To the river.
Yeah.
So you imagine that. I mean,
Yeah, that's
so you don't know where the boundaries are.
yeah, especially on the side, on the river road side, the end of the road, in terms of the river would come down, but to go into the sea like by the bridge there. So it's something that we have to get accustomed to and try and see how we could mitigate it, because
Yes.
that's not the first time,
Mhm.
really. So I'm just saying that we have to try to understand it some more. And it seems as though our actions have been making things worse by the things that we do up higher up on the mountain. Yeah. So when we interfere with things there, obviously it would have a negative effect too. I mean, there'll be no no time to mitigate anything. So you got to be careful and understand what is really happening and learn our lessons well.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but speaking about that, and we are calling now. If you listen to, and you follow up a little bit on what's taking place in the world, not only us here that get into severe, hurricanes or floods or whatever, but it's happening almost globally. You could use the word globally,
You could,
And
you could very well refer to them as all these natural disasters. It's not just affecting us. I think there's something going on in Spain, and the Prime Minister was speaking this morning, and he was addressing the fact that it's one planet,
yeah,
and no matter our size, we all are suffering from these man-made disasters, if you will. And even though we don't have the wherewithal to as a big power to make that big dent, but we still have to make them aware of our situation, because whatever is done in a disruptive way to the planet, it affects us all.
yeah. You're right about that, because the floods, I understand, even with the heavy rains that we received, the Trinidad got some, St. Vincent, I think they are around the region,
Yeah.
experienced similar conditions like we did.
I mean,
Yeah.
we have to recognize that's why they call us a basin, the Caribbean
Yes.
basin. So
Yes.
whatever is inside there,
We all gonna bid?
yeah, So and yeah, I think it's time for us to educate ourselves and really, not that educating ourselves will stop it from happening, but it can help us to mitigate some of the challenges that we have there. So Leo, I just saw somebody on the chat saying today is the funeral.
Oh, today's funeral. Yes, so that's what I heard. Okay,
Right.
fine.
Okay.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, again, just the family is people that I know well, and I just like to offer my condolences to them. Thank you. Yeah.
hmm And we have another dear brother right here in Carrick who would be buried tomorrow too. I don't know if you heard about DJ
Dread?
Babs. DJ Babs, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, what's the matter with you? I'm a listener to Vibes FM,
Okay.
I don't understand.
So I understand. So
And
few things about Carrick could tell you to put on Vibes,
okay.
Right.
Yeah. But this happens suddenly, and
Yeah.
when it happens, like the family and all the those concerned go into shock, disbelief to a certain extent, that we sometimes could deal with a story, if it's if it's gradual, if it's
Yeah.
slowly coming, you could feel it, and you could sort of come to terms. Well, possible this can happen, but when you hear the sudden death, it always make a different impact, but
Well,
mhm,
Kim, since any person, Carrick, for that matter, where those two letters precede your name, DJ,
yeah,
I know there's going to be some connection.
yeah,
So yes, man, I know him very well. He's his brothers and all those things. Russell and all the boys, I know him very, very well.
yeah,
And his children too.
yeah.
So my condolences go to him and his family also, well, his family.
Okay. All right. Now, earlier on, you mentioned about Diablo trying to, in the situation, they're trying to sort of like blame the government for the health system that we have right now, after they've been in there for 40 years plus, or maybe as a party, leading 23 years. If I think I hit the number right. 23 years there as a government, but he's been in parliament for the last 40 years. He always brag about that anyway. And now you have there's a friend of his, as he claimed, that died, but he took a political platform to sort of I don't know what he was really trying to do, if he's trying to extend sympathy or criticize the government for what transpired. But if you listen to what he said, and I think I have the clip here too, if you
Yeah.
listen to if you listen to what he said there, I mean, it's really let me see where I might find this. Okay, yeah, I think I just found it here. Listen to what he said. Yeah.
I cannot do anything else but tell you I'm not in the best of mood.
Okay, this was in a public meeting. They will have what they call the zonal meeting, and they got up to address the crowd, and he normally would speak there for a long time, But this time he couldn't do it because, listen.
For a public meeting this evening, and for very obvious reasons. So I said to them, I come to see a brother. Well, they tell me they just took him up to the ICU because he was coughing a lot. The gentleman was coughing for almost a day and a half. Something would tell you, as a doctor or medical person, something is wrong with the lungs. My God. So I took my friend and we went up. My brother standing there with me. We went up to ICU and knocked the ICU door. No one come out. So we knocked and a young doctor came out and she said, well, she was surprised to see me. And of course she greeted me. And then I said to her, she asked me, what am I doing here? So I said, I come to see my brother. She said, who is it? And I said, I already just was taken up to the ICU. She said, let me get back. So she went back inside. A doctor come out and he said to me, Doc, I have bad news for you. I said, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean? I have bad news for you. The brother has just passed. Could you imagine this? So, I'm in pieces. And I just spoke to him an hour before, and he said he was having these pains and he's coughing a lot. But he's okay otherwise, just an hour before. So had he been treated, they don't have basic medication, aspirin, basic thing to save the life of a person. Sisters and brothers, your country needs to be rescued. We can't take this longer. We can't take it. These people don't care. You're flying all over the world and people dying like flies. I cannot do anything else but tell you.
You listen to that?
Kim,
Yeah.
you know what is so sad? If, as the Dr. Mitchell is professing that this guy is such a very close friend,
Mm-hmm.
you spoke to him about an hour
Oh,
ago.
right.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Then you came into a situation where they tell him,
Oh, we sort of lost. Let me try to get it back. Yes, come on. Get back. Yeah.
you should be so distraught.
Yeah.
Nothing else will come across your mind because you just lost a near and dear friend. But in all this, the hypocrisy in this that you try to use this.
The platform, yes. Yeah.
So if that happens to me and my friend, my attention is undivided. I could only think about my friend's passing. I won't think about anything else. So even that, these guys are insincere in life and in death. So
No, really, when I listen to it, I'm getting the same kind of feeling there too, I mean, look at the what he's trying to do in a situation like that there. His friend passed away and he's claiming that the hospital don't even have aspirin, you know. I mean, if you listen to the words coming from his mouth, and in my belief, I think he's trying to use a platform there, whether it's real or not, I don't think it's real, but he's trying to make believe of a situation that maybe doesn't exist.
no, but not only that, that shortage of medical supplies at the general hospital is something new. That was
Yeah.
a situation during his tenure. For the entire time that he's been there,
Mm-hmm.
General Hospital in Grenada, and for that matter, Caracu too, they've always been without the basics. Just, I don't know if you remember me saying last week that the biggest item in the trauma center or the ER in Caracu is an oxygen tank.
Yes, you did say so. Yeah.
So, it's nothing new. And again, I will have to say to you that we went a very long time, as far as I know, from 2005 to 20 somebody, 20, that car couldn't have something as basic as an X-ray unit. We
Yes. Uh-huh.
CHS for that. And this person who is so distraught now and is so surprised that we don't have the basics. You were in there at the time. And those things were brought to your attention, not only to your attention, but the attention to your Minister of Health, Dr. Clarice Modest, that recited that story a few Thursdays ago. So I don't know what will go through this guy's head as though they're coming to reveal something new.
Mm-hmm.
But you hear it too? Talking
Yeah.
about the Prime Minister is flying all about while people are dying as flies. My God. The one thing I'd like to tell the ex-Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, when he flies abroad, he comes back with something that is beneficial to the state. Some money here or some promise here or some assistance here. He doesn't go and come back with a briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody buys a briefcase. You say, after you make this fraudster, that you only get $15,000. The fraudster is saying he gave you $500,000. And by your own admission, you met with the fraudster, because it's me damn money, I should get more. Well, what business that you could go to Switzerland without security detail as a prime minister of a country to come back with a closed briefcase? What happened? There's a closed casket, and nobody can know any briefcase. And now you're blaming our good prime minister who's making an effort to travel to places as Nigeria, Azerbaijan.
Mm-hmm.
And there are good reasons. He's not traveling to enhance the Mitchell. He's traveling looking for assistance for the city of Grenada, can quality Martinique. So that's just some things that I must be proud of. Don't go and come back with briefcase. You're saying he's one among the convicted fraudster. As this is alleged, he's saying a different amount. And I tell you the truth, I have a tendency to believe the convicted fraudster because who in their right mind would leave you to go to Switzerland for $15,000 thinking that bad?
Yeah.
No, man. So
No.
when you get on telling your people and the young people who don't know any better that our prime minister is flying all about and while people are dying, you must remind them that you are doing the same thing and worse because you
Mm-hmm.
back from abroad, all you brought was disrepute for a good state matter in in the United States. And no prosecution could have taken place that you're innocent. But you're granted immunity because of your status of head of state. So those are things that when you want to inform people, talk about those things.
Yeah, no, but yeah. But it's very sad, very, very sad, when we have someone who's been there and making those kind of comments,
Yeah,
yeah, and really, and criticizing. But the problem with him, though, the problem with Diablo really jealous. He missed the what I should call the attention he used to get, and the way he was, just going around and do what he had to do. The power that he had. He's jealous. That's what going on.
I'm so sure is that you remember that outfit that came to Carriacou after Barry Samaritan's post?
Yeah.
I think he missed the Grenadian post. You ask me. I think
Yeah. Oh, oh, okay. Yeah. So you sort of modulating a little too loud. If you possibly could just step back a little from the
okay, thank you.
from your yeah. I just noticed that. Yeah. Are you there? Hello.
You hear me?
Yeah, a little bit right. Yeah, just like that. Okay, right there. Okay, that's better. So let me ask you, Koi, what's your take on the way he's behaving?
Well, I don't think it is anything new. I think so Leo made that point, not directly, but it's not anything new. What we are seeing happening is a continuation of what they have been doing all these years. As you talk about that, I remember some years ago when Mark Isaac was Minister for Health. There was the issue of people dying like flies in the hospital. So what I'm saying is that it's an old playbook that has been used to create panic. You remember the April Fool's Day march in Grenville when they came out on the 1st of April and march for health?
Yeah.
I mean, it's something not anything new. It just happened in 2024, but it happened many, many years ago. So my take is, like all the rest, it will just die out. And what people have to do is to continue to talk about what is true, what is happening, the positive thing. You know, we talk about what we don't see or what we don't have. We don't have as much as aspirin in the hospital. Okay, we understand the challenges, and every generation talk about the challenges of healthcare. So let us now come together and work to make it happen in a positive way. Instead of marching on the street, instead of trying to create, the kind of back and forth, let us understand that we have a problem. Look at this climate change. Instead of fighting each other, let's fight to ensure that we can mitigate those things when it happens. So it will die out. It will soon die out. And we'll now start talking about something else. And if we don't put our houses in order, as the old people say, Sir Leo, crap will go smoke with pipe.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see,
But
go ahead, Kim, go ahead.
yeah, no, I was saying, but to have people like him in this, in this time of now making those kind of statements, that's very irresponsible.
Well,
Yeah.
irresponsibility on the part of this gentleman is not, again, that too is nothing new. Anything, he doesn't care what he says as long as it's going to bring in some political mileage. That is why you see, in his state of desperation, we are employing all kinds of entities to be the face of his party because he needs some assistance with his lying. So you don't care about the qualification of the people that they're using now to malign decent people over the years have been contributing and still continues to contribute to the benefit of Carriacou. Now, remember the statement that was made that the fire was set in Tilby because this government don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
See who talking. See who is making that statement. Who are you representing with that statement? Because as far as I know, I think this guy attended and graduated school in August. So where your education come from? As to government affairs and what the government is qualified to administer and not qualified to administer. And those are the type of people you have spreading your propaganda, and those people of their ilk will believe, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
So it's those things we have to keep on educating our people. Kim, the day when people used to tell us, aeroplane bring baby. You used to believe that?
Yeah. You talk about that, I remember, I used to run behind the plane, when it's passing overhead, trying to tell him, please bring a baby for mommy.
What?
Yeah, so you just remind me of those.
You're doing,
but
thing?
yeah, but that's the kind of behavior and things that we were made to believe those days, But that era is gone now. I mean, we've gone past that.
We are even running after aircraft and thing again. We have our own helicopter now. You think that we can remain in one position all the time? At one time, we used to ride donkeys.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. But let me tell you this. My 7-year-old granddaughter is asking her father, how is it that a baby could come through so small a passage? She doesn't understand that. 7 years old, you know.
Yeah, 7 years old.
She has a father on the back foot, brain defensive stroke. All has gone on where now we're dealing with AI, artificial intelligence. But we, to a certain extent, in Grenada and in particular Carriacou and Petit Martinique, our AI is actual ignorance. Compliments of these people who want to give you the same old false stories time and time and time again, and we don't understand that the results are going to be the same. Nothing for us. Nothing for us. That is what demonstrated. And the few times when you have done something in Carriacou, thinking it's for benefit, it's for detriment. Oh God, play the parang again. Open your eye and see, man.
Yeah, but it's very, very sad when you have a situation like that. But let me just ask you to just pause for the cause then. Just stay right there. Caller, what's up, caller? Caller, you on there? Caller, come in.
Good morning, Mr. Carl.
Good morning.
Good morning, President. Good morning to you and your family. Good morning, Solio.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
A pleasant good morning to you. You sound very strong and welcome back again.
Thank you.
I have a lot of confidence in you. Good morning, Brother Kim.
Good morning. How are you doing? Okay.
And good morning to us, but whoever I hate, whoever I did.
Okay.
You know, we always have it in our mind and heart and soul, or how you call it. I want to make one go this morning. I first want to speak because I listen most radio stations. And before I make that statement, I want to make an intro. The devil is at work. The devil have 4 sets of friends on this face of the earth. The Israelis, I have no apology for that. Diablo is a very good friend of the devil. His party NNP is a very good friend of the devil. And Beryl from Carriacou is a very good friend of the devil. I want to say something here this morning. I listened to the former Prime Minister speak about some friend he have. This is a guy who used to dress up all in green. Anytime before he going anywhere you go see him. He go to the hospital and he end up losing his life. Well, the good God already for him. May he rest in peace. And want to blame the hospital and say the hospital don't have no aspirin. I have an also said enough that this man lied the very same day. It had 3 people who lost their life. 2 similar conditions. The man was called, you know, you have some people walking the road, but just so they go and lie down. That happened to my mother. He feel he go get political mileage with that. I went down him with Duns. Duns people in Grenada who does follow him. And what he going and saying, we have to rescue Grenada. If Pete Mitchell had to rescue Grenada again, I'd rather to go and live in Afghanistan. First and foremost. The other one is this man so envy Deacon because Deacon Mitchell land with a helicopter with the 2 dozen guys who invest their money to come and invest the helicopter service on Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. You know, because this man wasn't invited. Had the worst thing to start damn Grenadians see in trouble. And you could imagine this man riding with a helicopter and people in trouble. I want to tell you, if Bishop Mitchell tell you that he paid for that helicopter ride, the man decided to launch his service because that is where he's from. And everybody in Mongols will keep one eye down. You must one eye down. Stop that, you're too big and old for that. Somebody always call you. It's more than somebody always call you know. Kate Lewis, Beryl, Who's the next? Quick, and Andre Lewis. Somebody and Andre Donald. Somebody always call him. Same Andre Donald got on the radio and saying, somebody call him and tell him that the PM Grum, our MP from St. George, St. George, Andy Williams, and you can't act as private city. I'm warning Grenadians, if all you have little children, don't let them listen to these radio programs that have these guys and them. Because they might try to do something in school and they will write the wrong thing. Don't follow this guy on WFM, Nancy's story. Everybody knows Nancy's story. This guy is not right. Don't bother with me. So I want to know, is jealousy the Prime Minister? So if somebody come and they launch a submarine service in Grenada, and they invite the Prime Minister and they say the triple ticket and J in the bottom, or go in, kick and J. What I have to do? Me tell the man to just at Marco. Only Marco and the man always go deacon. Don't bring a foreign woman in Grenada like him we are a woman. If somebody see him and tell him, he go and talk about it. Must keep the tell, must.
Okay, caller. Caller, thank you. This caller is very angry as you realize that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying to get a message across there, you know. And a lot of people are speaking about jealousy is part of what's going on, but I only think it's only jealousy, you know. I believe, you know, like right now he's been destabilized ever since Honorable Deacon Mitchell came into the scene and been so impressive. And the world is admiring Grenada. As a matter of fact, Grenada is no longer a dot on the map, as we would say, you know. Grenada is getting a lot of recognition now because of who we have leading us. And this is something that you just can't deal with. So, Leo, you guys got to try and see if you can help him, you know.
Yeah, well, Kim, you know,
Yeah.
yes, indeed, it's some jealousy, but that cake that is baked with jealousy is iced with desperation. Because in addition to Deacon's good deed, giving him some heartache, the fact that he still has Peter to contend with and try to convince the hierarchy in his association that he's still the only person that could lead the party and nobody else is capable. So whatever little he has left of his conscience, that's pricking him too, you know. Because I don't understand what disrespect you hold for the other people in your party that you don't want to even give them an opportunity to do the best for your party. I don't think that there is anything that this guy could do that Peter David can't do. And as a matter of fact, when on the world stage, Peter David might be the most charming person. And, and better for us too. Because you see what is happening to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique now. It's not used to happening, you know. And that is because of the presence of this young man that is intelligent, that is charismatic, and he could reach people. He's a people's person, and they have no doubt, they have nothing associated with his behavior. If you go to a country, Grenada leader come to a country and ask, the first thing that I didn't do about is China.
Okay, so let's step back one again because you over-modulating now. Yeah, okay. All right, okay. Yes, nice. Okay. But what is happening as you speak about that, you know, in that the recognition that Grenada has been getting ever since our Honorable Deacon Mitchell he became the Prime Minister, and the support that he has been getting, Diablo can't deal with that, you know, because he's on the world stage now. You realize that he's on the world stage and everybody is giving him that attention that he's getting. Okay, we just lost Solido for a little while, so he's going to come back as soon as we're ready again. Okay, but he realized that he's getting a lot of attention, and this is one of the things that he just can't deal with. So beside that now, besides not being able to deal with him, he has a problem with Peter, you know. There's a serious problem there with Peter.
Well, from all appearances, I mean, I know we were talking what Solio was talking about earlier on, but as you mentioned, this issue here, I think we do not genuinely believe in democracy. Because if we accept democracy, and what is democracy? That everybody has equal opportunity. Some have more opportunity than others, or based on race, color, creed, or class, or whatever. Democracy tells us that we are all equal, and if that is accepted by us, anybody has a constitutional right to challenge. If that's what it is, that's what it is. So I think we have to examine ourselves to see if we really, really believe in this thing they call democracy, or we interpret it as who I say or how I want it. It is democracy. I think we need to.
Let me take a call. The Vibes FM, caller you on. Caller, come in.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yes.
I would like to know what can be done for we to revitalize Carriacou and Petite Martinique, seeing that it's a parish of Grenada and Petite Martinique is a village in Carriacou. That is, the better quality of life should be lived. And we shouldn't be going wrong in circulation.
Caller, let me ask you, did you just say that Petite Martinique is a village in Carriacou?
Yes. We have 7 parishes.
Yeah, but Petite Martinique is not a village in Carriacou. Petite Martinique is an island by itself.
An island?
Yes.
So we have 2 islands across the sea?
Yes. Carriacou, if you're in Carriacou, you don't take a boat.
Remember, Carriacou boat used to be checking in Soteja in the early time.
Carriacou what?
So where the 7 parishes, where the other parishes now?
I know we have 6. I know we have 6 parishes.
What do you mean?
Carriacou is not a parish. Carriacou is an island.
No, but hold on. When it comes to
let us live better than that. And
okay.
You see, sometimes what we don't want our feet to mash, we have to take our hand and pick it up. Kai capo, kite capo.
Okay.
Listen, thank you. Okay. You know better than that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much for calling. 443-0101, 443-0101, 403-0101, 403-0101, and also you can call 458-1914, 458-1914. Salio, are you back? Just double checking with you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you perfect, yeah. Okay. So, but we keep losing your
caller who just called, we shouldn't just leave him to go out in the world with lack of knowledge of his own place. Caller, the state of Grenada comprises 3 main islands, Grenada, Carriacou, and the Petite Martinique. Petite Martinique and Carriacou does form the 7th parish. So the fact that Carriacou is an island doesn't mean that it's also a parish. So that's how it is. 7 parishes. The only one that is not on mainland, and the only one that is, well, I don't think we are as fortunate as many of the other parishes in Grenada. I think it's because we're not St. Carriacou. Because we have St. Mark, St. Andrew, St. John, St. George's. Everybody else is a saint, except at one point in time, Diablo think we're the devil. So we're not St. Carriacou. So I might think about changing the name to St. Carriacou and St. Petite Martinique and see if we do better under people like Diablo. That's the end. That's how it is.
Line caller, come in.
Hello, good morning.
Hello? Yes, good morning, yes.
For taking my call, sir.
Yeah, okay.
And how are you and everybody, all right?
Okay, yes.
Everybody, my regards. How the weather treat you?
Not bad at all. Yes, we there, yes, Leo, yes.
Right. I want to get something across. And I would like if the minister, Ms. Scarlett, Senator Ms. Scarlett listening, I would like her to pay me a visit. I'm living in Montrose, what they call Montrose, Mongi. Now there is the water from gravel and concrete, up in gravel and concrete from the gravel heap, coming down in the road.
Hello?
They had a lady sweeping the road. And all the gravel coming down. Yes, this thing was there since in 2004. This thing is there. And then the
Well,
other lady,
technologies.
she had it going pretty alright. The
Okay.
next lady who take it over now, sweeping it, dig the road. She dig the road, and he had a hole where the water has to go down. She dig the road, take all the water from the hole, and throw it in me gap, and come in through me yard. And I cover to gravel and concrete, and the land like they're not paying no response. And I would like the public to know. I may say something, I don't want to say it. I may say something and it may create problem. But it's unfair to me because all the water coming in. If you come all the me gap there right now, you go see the gravel pack up in my gap. And the hole black up because she sweep the gravel up yesterday and full up the hole. And cut the road, she cut the road, take spade and she dig the road and make it a drain to throw the water in the place. Because you have a big drain there with the water going through the hole and go down in the drain. And she blocked it out and dig the road, the center of the road, and let the water come in on my place. So I want the people, the whole are going down the wall here, because probably you might end up saying different. It's unfair. It's unfair, rather unfair, because she don't want it for herself, right? If you come there, you go see the water, all the gravel come down and tell you, and I would like Miss Claudette and whosoever listening to come and see it.
Well, I think you should do, you should try to get in touch with them, and to address the problem.
I go to gravel and concrete guy all the time. And they tell me they go come, they go come, they go come, they go come, they go come. And every time they come, they tell me one thing.
But
I try to think and I think. So the only solution I have now is to make the public know what's going on with me. Because I'm tired.
Okay. Well, we hope that the situation gets resolved as soon as possible to bring it some.
Because these things will get people, and you may say things are right to say, I don't think it's all right to say.
Yeah. All right.
Right? So take care. Thank you very much.
Okay, exercise some patience, and everything should be okay, hopefully, if you address the issue and go to those in authority, something might be able to be done, we think so. Well, let's continue in our discussion as we've been going. And speaking about jealousy, and speaking about, I wonder if I should use the word envy. So, Leo, you mentioned that you mentioned a word that goes along with jealousy just now.
Desperation.
Desperation. That's it. Desperation is another word that is used. Now, recently, we had a Grenadian. I think his name is something Dowden, from the area of Montmorris.
Montmorris, yes.
Montmorris, yes. Who decided travel abroad, and he decided to come back home to make an investment. And that word investment should be stressed. The reason why Diablo doesn't know the word investing in his own country. Many of us would surpass him with a stroke of a pen any minute, because he has not, as far as I've been seen, done anything of the nature. But this gentleman came home realizing that Grenada needs a service of the nature, helicopter service, to tour, to view. These are things that would enhance the economy, one, create employment, and it's a plus for the tourism industry. There's no if about it. And if you have, what I like about the whole idea is that he's coming back to Grenada not to duplicate a service that's already there, to do something new, because sometimes we duplicate until the place just gets saturated with too many of the same. And now it's came back to make a contribution in his country. And Diablo have something to say about it. But I believe he was misinformed. When I follow the story, I believe he was misinformed. Listen to the story that went on GBN, and then we'll be able to make a little bit more comments about it. Listen, this is GBN reporting.
1 week after its soft launch at the Montmorris Breakfast, CEO of Dowden's Aviation Inc., Dennis Dowden Jr., has announced that tours will officially begin on December 1st, 2024. Mr. Dowden made the pronouncement while attending his first official GTA event, the Tour Operators Marketplace at the True Blue Bay Resort on Monday. He says all the necessary paperwork and permissions are in process from the relevant authorities.
We're in our final stages with all their final inspections with ECA and the Grenada Civil Aviation Authority. We will be operational here within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll kick off December 1st with our tours. We have a couple different tours set up already pre-approved through ECA. We have a half island tour, a full island tour, and we priced everything out pretty reasonable. And like I said, once we get going, the sky's the limit for us.
2025, Dowden says, will see an increase in the number of helicopters and the introduction of a very interesting and exciting service.
Next year, we'll also be bringing skydiving, and we have some other projects in the works. I don't want to give everything away too quickly, but we have lots of other projects in works, including education. But tourism is a big thing here. I got a chance. We do this in America right now. We're out of White Plains, New York. We conduct all our flights in and around Manhattan. And for me, it's time to come home. I was a police officer for 20 years. Before that, I was in the military. I served in the U.S. Army. I retired. I was talking to my wife and said, listen, this is a chance for us to get home. I'd like to come back here. I'm from Mount Morris. All my family's from Mount Morris. So we stay strong. We stay strong. We definitely stay strong over there. So it was we got to fly the Prime Minister last week. We did a soft introduction to the breakfast, and we were allowed to, we gave away some free flights to anybody who wanted to come in and put a $10 raffle in. So we're really excited about this opportunity to come down here and put Grenada as #1 on the map for the Caribbean destination.
Information on bookings and costings, he says, will be shared via the social media platform, Dowden's Aviation, Inc.
Okay, so we just heard there that GBN doing a piece on that, on the launch that took place, the week there. Now, what I believe happened, this was the part of the launching that preceded this newscast.
Well, I want to congratulate Dowden Aviation on the launch of our first helicopter service ever in the history of Grenada. I think many Grenadians have always felt for a long time that this was something that should happen in Grenada, and I'm really happy that you're the one who have finally taken the leap and to overcome, obviously, I know the many challenges you had in setting this up. But I'm really ecstatic. I think Grenadians would be ecstatic, particularly young Grenadians, because I think it's an opportunity for them to see a career in aviation over and above just planes. And I want to say congratulations. I think it will all go well for a number of areas, from Medivac to tourism, just to greater accessibility on a whole. And so I wish the venture success. I know it will grow. I hope we can go beyond it and even regionally as well. And I'm really honored that you would have offered me the opportunity to, in essence, take my inaugural flight on this. So congratulations again. I look forward to continue to support and partner with you so that we can make this a success.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Thank you. We saw the opportunity to bring something new and different to Grenada, and it was a great opportunity with the excellent leadership from the Prime Minister. We were able to get all that done. And like he stated, this is going to be a great thing for the island. We're going to be promoting tourism, which is going to bring more economic value to Grenada. Hopefully in the short term, we're going to start working on the education part. Hopefully getting maybe a training school or mechanics, maintenance, some vocational tech that we can work along, try to get the younger generation involved into Grenada. So,
now, if you listen to that and what he's saying there, you realize that there's big things going to be happening, could be happening for people in Grenada. An opportunity for them to, especially younger ones who's into technology, to educate themselves, to develop skills in flying, maybe in maintenance, and so much could be happening. But Diablo doesn't see that. He sees it a different way. And this is one thing that they who was launching there, Mr. Dowden launching there, the service, he complimented the Prime Minister. And by him doing that, I think that put a spoke in Diablo wheel. So, Leo?
So true. That, him thinking about that, I may have to come back to look for a job, Because, I never told you before, but aeronautics is part of my training,
Yes, I remember you mentioned that you were in flying school quite a number of years ago. Was it on Long Island? You were doing the training?
No, in New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey, okay,
Yeah, I have a license. My license is good for life.
Okay, All right. Well.
So,
Things could be
so,
happening for you right here.
so is my
Go back.
brother.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. Yeah, we spent
Okay.
some time. We spent some time at Teterboro School of Aeronautics in Monaco, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yes,
Okay.
that's okay.
So, so this is something could be exciting. But if you listen to what is going on now, in that jobs could be created, and
Oh
youths
yes.
or people who are interested in aviation flying or whatever would
Hmm.
be possible given the opportunity to go to training school here and
Hmm.
be part of that. Be part of that. That would be exciting.
Yes. See, is an opportunity, and mind you, Grenada could be a perfect place for a little flight school. Where youngsters wouldn't necessarily have to go to Opalaka in Florida, or even come to New Jersey. They could stay right here in Grenada and do the flight training. All we need is some
Yeah.
operators. Yeah.
That's it. We just need people who would be able to train and give them the opportunity to do so. But
Yes.
before we continue, let me just check another caller quickly because we have more to discuss on that. Vibes FM caller,
Hi,
landline
good
caller.
morning.
Yes, hello,
Good
yes.
morning. Good morning, Leo, darling. How you doing?
Oh
Mr.
boy.
Kai,
Good
everybody,
morning.
good
Good morning.
morning.
Hello.
Your
Hello.
friend Leo is waiting for you.
Hello. Well, well, let me just say, whatever little remnants of the dengue that's left is just gone.
Oh, well,
Hearing your
thank
voice,
God.
yes. Oh, happy. Oh,
And hearing your voice, I know you'll be better.
yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to say this morning,
Mm.
Kit Mitchell give us a message to give our Prime Minister. He has the supporters of the NUP to tell Deacon to stop making a fool of himself.
Wow.
But I want to say this morning, I want to tell Kit Mitchell, Kate Lewis, and Emlyn Pierre to stop making a fool of themselves. Mr. Leo, you have 2 children going in Sam City, all right?
Yes.
The government reduced $1,820 from the parents. You as the mother and the father, you can take up the slack. I wish Emily Pierre and Kate Lewis could have give the parents, the mother and the father, that advice to pick up the slack. I want to ask Emily Pierre and Kate Lewis how much government help them with their children. If they don't, them and the father don't stand up and help the children, especially in education, instead of keep making these parents look like handicapped, don't know how to take care of the children, they should give them an advice and tell them, look, the government reach out, meet a little way. Take up the mantle and help all your children. You reduce 800 from a child, the money you had to pay, the government step in and pay the money. You go tell me you can pay the bus fare to send you tell to come to see. You want to allow your child to lose an opportunity as education and drop out because you don't have money to pay and the bus to send them to school. What dumb is that? What's wrong with these people and them? And I wish the people of Mongori, you could see they want to work hard and help the country. I think the train where used to go wrong to carry the tourists and them wrong tongue. I think it's somebody from Mongori what have this this thing. I think it's from Mongori this business stuff.
Yeah.
And look, this man come with a helicopter against a Mongori. That Prime Minister, Mitchell, past Prime Minister, should have been so happy to know people on that side trying to invest in his. Well, yes, he never see this vision, and today he should have really come out and help these people that want to help build the country. And lastly, I want Kit Mitchell to know the salary he getting and the help he getting to help the people. If he take that money and buy some aspirin he gonna make a lot of mileage. Go on MTV, show them the channel, the medication he buy.
Yeah.
Come and GBN, and even go on Kim Jones and show them the receipt. Say, look, I take that one salary and I
Buy
buy
aspirin.
aspirin. You know, a lot of mileage you can get from that. Instead of saying he don't have, and if they did trick the man would have leave. I never heard of his life. When the time comes for you to go, what medication what could save you, my darling? That is really the Grenadian stupid. He
Caller,
must do that.
caller,
Hey,
the more I listen to you, the more I love you. I don't know. you, you always make so much sense. But I will tell you
yes,
one thing.
make my day.
Uh,
Yeah, man.
Let me tell you one thing. Let's
Uh,
let's let's pray for Kate Lewis and hope for the best. Because
yeah.
I have no charity in them. In
Especially young people.
yeah.
Young people encourage them not to help their children. No, you come in and say children dropping out just because of us. They are ashamed of these young people and them, you know. Thank God. And this is rescue these young people in this country under this situation. With these people and them are had the young people in the hand.
yeah.
Have a good day, darling.
Okay.
You too, love, you too. Yes.
All right. Okay. Okay. 443-0101-403-0101. You can call any one of those numbers. You can also call 458-1914. 458-1914. But as this caller mentioned, it would be a nice gesture if Diablo decided to buy some aspirin and if he claimed he had no aspirin, make a contribution and go on and show that you're trying to do something. But the whole thing is jealousy. Jealousy is involved in that, and this is one of the reasons now why with this helicopter service that was just starting, and it's going to be official with the tours and everything by December 1st. And this is what he had to say about it.
Morris, in my constituency, they have breakfast every Sunday. Eh? You know that? It's every Sunday at the end of the month, they have a breakfast. So for the last 40 years, I've been going to those activities. I don't go there all the time. So last Sunday, at the end of the month, they had one. And your Prime Minister helicoptered into the playing field in Mount Morris. Your Prime Minister helicoptered into the playing field where they're having the breakfast. And everybody was in shock. So listen to this thing. Listen to this, just listen carefully. A brother called me and he said, Doc, how we ain't see you in Mount Morris this Sunday? I said, boy, I'm looking for a helicopter and get one yet, no. Get one. Because after a man riding a helicopter, I can't drive a car, you look bad. So that's why I didn't go. Because I didn't have helicopter.
He didn't have helicopter, he had black car, he had nothing, you know.
The point I'm making is, you see the whole stupidness taking place in this country? This guy who is now in charge of this country, I don't talk about it too much because I don't want anybody to believe I have a problem with the person. I don't have a problem. I have a problem with the behavior and the attitude. People are suffering in the country. People cannot feed their children, but you're riding in a helicopter in a small country as Grenada, Carriacou, and Piedmont. And how come supporters of the National Democratic Congress not telling this young man to behave his damn self? Somebody must talk to him. He's making a fool of himself and the country.
I mean, you listen to that. You listen to what he's saying there. Really. I mean, besides being jealous, he's angry with himself that he's not.
And there's a sense of desperation there.
Because did he listen? Did he realize it's a launching of a project that's going to benefit Grenadians?
But I don't even think he is even thinking about that. He's just, it's like there's no way other than his response. That's how he feels. He's hurt. He's deep.
Yes.
He is. I mean, he said it. He said it soon after the election that he really was looking forward to be there, and he really feeling him. I mean, not to say that he shouldn't be like anybody else. Is that it's trauma. One of the things I said, one of the things I said that you see, just after we had Hurricane Beryl,
Yeah.
emphasis was a lot on trying to help people cope psychologically. They're traumatized and give them emotional support. I've said that I don't know if the members of the opposition party, if they had that, because when they lost, it was a deep hurt, a deep cut. Nobody went to the rescue and try and counsel them.
Yeah.
How to respond.
They believe they need some counseling.
And this is what we see happening now because they didn't have that experience.
Yeah.
Shock.
Well, Kim?
Yeah.
Chris Mitchell don't always hide his feelings, You remember on the occasion of the 50th anniversary, he was telling us, the public, how much of a tabanka he got.
Yeah.
Because I call it political tabanka. He would want to win the man at the helm at this time, so he could ride into glory with his black cars and all his security details.
Yes. You're
Same
right.
thing now. Yes, he am feeling too good about those things that.
Yeah. Hello, Savio?
Yes.
Yeah, come back here. Hold on.
You got me?
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
That he is upset about the positive things that the Mitchell is doing and the response is getting from the public, because he's seen that as adding some nails to his political coffin. So of course that's going to upset him. That's his problem. Not that Deacon is doing anything wrong. What happens? What is wrong with as a matter of promotion from Mr. Dowden, who is making an investment to the betterment of Grenada, to appear at a function with a helicopter? So all Tom, Dick, and Harry must now know that we have helicopter service in Grenada. Is there something wrong about that? You're complaining that you're spending so much money riding a helicopter. Oh God, Mitchell, you spend millions of dollars on a photograph for a gem. So when they come out and show you a picture of a gem and we lost millions of dollars. A picture,
Yeah, a picture of a gem. Yeah, I remember that.
A gem, we lost millions, and you better don't let me start with the port,
Stay off the port. Stay off the port.
Wait until you get better. 100%. Okay. But the thing about it is that when you're going to have a launch of the Nature 2, when you would get like a prime minister to come there as was done to spearhead and be part of that official mark launching, groundbreaking, you could get better representation from that. I mean, that's the best way to go about that. But I wonder if he really understood what was going on, or maybe he was being misled. People were just telling him, well, look, the man come with a helicopter here and you must talk about it. I don't know. He must get his information before he speak, though. I mean, that's my view.
But what make him think that because the prime minister appeared in a helicopter, that he must appear in a helicopter? Hello, you're not the prime minister,
So that's why you had to take a car.
Yeah, but you can't go to that car. You go look bad.
Jump a donkey and go to the thing with the company. Prime minister, you are the prime minister. You're no longer the prime minister. So the one is coming in fine style. If you can't duplicate, don't.
You see, he used to be driving around for the longest while with all this, getting all this attraction, And right now he's not getting that attention, so things not to his liking anymore. But when you listen to him, if you listen to him carefully, you could feel the way he feels. Listen how he feels. Listen.
And everybody was in shock. So listen this thing. Listen this, just listen carefully. A brother.
Everybody was in shock.
I'm in shock.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Everybody was in shock.
Called me and he said, Doc, how we see you in Mount Morris this Sunday? I said, boy, I'm looking for a helicopter and get one yet, Get one. Because after a man riding a helicopter can't drive a car, you look bad.
You hear that?
What?
Yeah.
What you should do, you should appear in the Bandarante.
You remember the Bandera? Yeah. You should appear in that. But listen, man.
That's why I didn't go. Because I didn't have helicopter.
Who fellow?
The point I'm making is, you see the whole stupidness taking place in this country. This guy who's now in charge of this country.
What's so stupid about that? What's stupid about that? And a citizen making an investment, invite the Prime Minister to come and help me launch this project for the benefit of Grenada. What's stupid about that? But he just can't deal with it.
You don't want to.
This guy who's now in charge of this country, I don't talk about it too much because I don't want anybody to believe I have a problem with the person. I don't have a problem. I have a problem with the behavior and the attitude.
He doesn't have a problem with the person.
But the person's behavior and attitude.
Yeah.
Listen to that, huh?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the person, but it's the behavior and the attitude
of the person
I have a problem with. I mean, just think about that for a while and see what he's saying. Just talking all over the place, and it's a clear case of desperation, envy,
jealousy,
and all these things. I mean,
grieving.
These are the attributes of when somebody.
But as you mentioned, Koi, which is something again I think should be reiterated, But after they lost the election, they need some counseling.
Well, I mean, they are human beings, Apart from everything else, yes, they are aligned to a political organization, but they are human beings, and human beings react and behave in a pattern. When they would have lost, when you lose your families, how do you behave? You need people to uphold you.
Yes.
When you lost something major, you need people to uphold you and give you comfort and help you to go through the period. Of course, unfortunately, they didn't do it.
So, Leo?
You see, in every instant that Keith Mitchell chose to criticize Deacon Mitchell, you could bring a parallel situation where he is doing is 90 times worse. Now, the state of Grenada was in possession of an aircraft, Brazilian Bandarante, and under Dr. Mitchell's watch, the Bandarante disappeared without a trace. Up to now, the majority of Grenadians, if not all, do not know what happened to the Bandarante. It was sold. If the money was put in the consolidated funds, we do not know. So when we talk about disappearing and wastage and all those kind of good things, you don't have the moral authority to talk. Because there's no way in hell the Prime Minister appearing at a breakfast in Mount Morris is going to compare in costs and lack of benefit to the state than a aircraft disappearing. So if you want to talk about things, talk to your supporters about that. Tell them the Bandarante disappeared on your watch before you would criticize anybody else.
Let me take a call. Hold on. Caller, WhatsApp caller, come in. WhatsApp caller? Hello, yeah. Hello. Yeah.
I just happened to come back to remind Grenadians of something. The biggest private plane ever come in on Morris Bishop International Airport. Come and pick up Keith Mitchell, after the briefcase, And they went to Trinidad. He and that big belly man who came off the plane and meet him. And they go to Trinidad and buy roti and talk about what they're talking and come back in Grenada, And he constantly used that private plane coming and pick him up. The another one he talk about is consultation. That's what they use in regular now. That David had a program Tuesday, but he talked about that from the beginning to the end. Would NNP ever had any consultation with anybody? How do one consultation now? I never know that was existing when NNP was in power. They never wanted somebody just by the window there. There was one night they probably have horse in Keriku. So all should have sent them a horse for him. See, we got to use the cat to go to Montgomery because everybody that look when he come and beating the horse coming in. But I want to tell NNP one thing. The date for the funeral is soon. Thank you.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Okay. For
The point I'm making is, you see how stupidness taking place in this country. This guy who is now in charge of this country, I don't talk about it too much because I don't want anybody to believe I have a problem with the person. I don't have a problem. I have a problem with the behavior and the attitude. People are suffering in the country. People cannot feed their children while you're riding in a helicopter in a small country as Grenada, Carriacou, and Piedmont. And how come supporters of the National Democratic Congress not telling this young man to behave his damn self? Somebody must talk to him. He's making a fool of himself and the country.
poor fellow.
Yeah.
Poor fellow. I mean, really. He bleeding.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately.
Can't deal with it. Can't deal with it. They can really put a spoke in the wheel,
Yeah.
And yes, and this is something that you just can't deal with, and because of that now, it's taking the effect. It's taking effect, as we sometimes would say, right, Solio?
Yes, of course. But it all tells you one thing, that it's Michelin and his entourage. Hear them talking about rescuing Grenada, They don't want to rescue Grenada, They want to rescue the habit because that's what they deprived of. All the shenanigans they had going on in Grenada is that they want to see come back. So all this desperation has nothing to do with the state of Grenada. Has all to do with Keith Mitchell and his ilk. People like the telephone man, the mathematician, and all those kind of people like that. They want to go back in the trough.
Hold on. Sorry, hold the comments there. Let me try to take some of these calls because they're backing up on us. Vibes FM, WhatsApp caller, come in. Hello. WhatsApp caller number 1, caller number 2, come in.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yes, go ahead.
All right. I think that helicopter. I think Kit Mitchell and I'm thinking, because there's a lot of benefits that come from this helicopter, Instead of the people from Carriacou coming down on Osprey.
Right.
With sick people coming down on Osprey. They could use the helicopter to bring down people from Carriacou.
Right.
It takes a shorter time and everything like that.
Yes.
So I don't know why Mitchell and them don't thinking about the economical thing about the helicopter than to worry about you can fly on the helicopter. He was invited to fly on the helicopter, so he fly on the helicopter. It's not Deacon Mitchell helicopter.
And
it's a private personal helicopter.
That's it. It's a launch of a service. That's what it was.
It's a launch of a service.
That's all,
And a service that could bring many benefits to the country. So
Right.
I don't understand why Kit Mitchell and them. Well, I know it's jealousy. He's saying it's not jealousy, but it's jealousy. He's just jealous.
Yes.
He's not in the position because I think if he was prime minister, he'd have been riding it on the helicopter. He wants to ride on the helicopter. He could go and get a ride on the helicopter. So I don't understand. It's crazy. Anyway, guys, carry on the show, man.
Thank you.
Good show.
Somebody next line caller. Hold on. Line caller, you there still? Hello, next caller. All right, Koi, go ahead. You were saying something. Yes. There was somebody was.
Yes, somebody was saying if the leader of the opposition want a ride, when they launch on the first of December, and that's the next time they have the breakfast. Anybody who buys a breakfast and get a ticket is eligible to win a free ride. So yeah, he has opportunities, and if he doesn't want to, go and make it appear as though he's trying to create problems, buy a ticket, and he might just be lucky to get a free ride. So I'm just saying he too can get anybody. So it's not over. So he might just be able to get a free ride on the helicopter.
But
Um,
jealousy.
I'm sorry, but you guys, I can't keep it in any longer because I know how to tell me to stay off the port. But I must ask the question: how much did it cost the people of the state of Grenada for putting an application to the Privy Council in England, trying to fight the Koreans for their property? How much did it cost us? I want to submit that I know it's no cheaper than $1 million US. So if you want to talk about wastefulness and people doing things for the personal interest and not that of the state, again, Kisbichel doesn't have the moral authority to criticize anybody because
Yeah.
and I'm only using that as an example. That is not the biggest tab, but it happened right in my backyard, so I must attend to that first. You fooled us too many times. Go ahead, guys. I want
Okay,
to.
let me take another landline caller. Landline caller, come in.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Mr. Kim.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
NNP now can even fool the young children are going in school. You remember the house that they offer the mother in Carrefour, the 3-bedroom and furniture and everything, and she refused it?
Yeah.
You hear what one of the young sons say, Mommy, if you don't want the house, give me now. So them can even come and convince these young children to be against NDC now because them children wise up and they have their good hair and they know what's going on. Mommy don't want house, well furniture and everything. The little boy say, Mommy, if you don't want the house, give me now and going to school. So they better watch that. They can't even fool the children are going to school now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
point.
Yes. Yeah. You're making sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Go ahead, Solia.
No. I was saying, well, that's the point I'm making. And that is why we have to continue to debunk and counter all this foolishness that they're trying to spew to the young people of this country. Because a lot of them, so sad, a lot of things that our youngsters should be paying attention to will not. And that make them very vulnerable to people of Diablo and his ilk. I mean, you fool people for that long, you ride us as a driver, that do what? You didn't put a bag on your back for your back and bruise, and you ride us all this time. And you still want to continue. So that's why you see I'm getting more and more upset every day with Nolan Cox. Because Nolan Cox is not from Brisbane, he's not from Cherry Hill. Come out in Carriacou, boy. Take care of your own first before you go and involve yourself with anybody else. And the history of Keith Mitchell in Carriacou, nobody who's associated themselves with Keith Mitchell end up being a winner. So I don't know. But Kim, something I want you to do.
Yeah.
Please do me a favor. I know you're good friends with Tobias Clement. Please invite him to the program because I don't want to go ahead and run my mouth. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to hear it from his mouth. What is his intention and his leaning, his recent leaning, which I feel from listening to him that he wants to go back to Kitty Mitchell for a second serving of abuse. Please come on the program and explain his standing at this time. We love the opportunity to question him along those lines.
I promise I'm going to get in touch with him because we go on very, very well. And whenever I call on him, he always responds positively. So
Yeah.
as you just mentioned that to me, leave it up to me. That's my homework. I'll try to get him on the program.
Yes,
Until
because
his position, yeah.
yeah,
Hold a second. Just hold a second. Hold a second. Vibes FM. Landline caller, come in. Hello. All right. Go ahead, Solia. Yeah. Okay.
yes, because these people always want to treat us as people with no sense, and they must just take whatever they're giving us as sheep and say nothing. And that is the kind of thinking and that is the kind of education that our youngsters are taking in. Now, when a politician comes to you, he's applying for a job. All this campaigning, blah, 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 blah. In short, he's applying for a job. And he promises as part of his job description, if he is elected, that is he's going to be elected to serve you in the business of the state. No, God forbid those politicians in our neck of the woods, as soon as they would have been victorious, they're no longer of service, but they want to rule. And certain things that you should be informed of as being in your business, it becomes their business alone. Case in point, and I'm afraid I have to go back there. You remember when we asked the minister for a copy of the engineering report that says that the jetting tongue was in imminent danger? Remember what we were told? You can do that as well. Huh?
Yeah, private. Yeah, that's private.
Government business.
Government business.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that I'm not allowed to do what is happening in my business? Who give you that authority? And our children, our youngsters must understand one thing. Please, for the sake of God, have respect for any official, I don't care, elected or selected. Give them full respect. But please do demand in return respect from these vagabonds. Because when they don't do what they're supposed to do, they want to make it taboo. That shouldn't be discussed. It's not your business.
Yep.
And in essence, have our people dumbed down. I don't want to stand for me right because I'll be victimized. You know, victimized in Carriacou has become a very, 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 very common word, you know.
Yep.
All right.
No. I remember what you were saying there. You know, and you spoke about the report that was asked for by the minister and the response.
I have seen reports detailing the state of the disrepair of the jetty. I've seen reports that was done prior my time, because you may recall, I don't know if you know, that was one of the basis for the policy decision to move the jetty, the state of disrepair of the jetty. So I have seen reports. I cannot recall the company who would have been responsible for investigating and making that final decision, but it was qualified, competent experts who would have done that. There are written reports with respect to that regard. I cannot tell you who would have done it, because the government would have, at the time, would have had to be advised of that in before they make that decision.
But is that report off limits to the public?
Pardon me?
Is that report still off limits to the public? In other words, you've seen the report. I think I've asked you before.
Yeah, I've seen that report.
You've seen that report?
Yes, I've seen the report.
But I did ask before, as a taxpaying citizen, can I see the report? And I was told that I can't see the report. I don't know what's so private about it.
It's not private because it's government property. It's not private, but there's something,
what's the government
information that are, are confidential, Mr.
The report about JT is confidential?
This report is confidential. Well, I'm not privy to disclose it.
So, Leo?
You see, here you are, somebody in my employ. Because after all, me 2 pence are going to taxes is paying your salary. You're working for me. And I'm asking you for a report that is something that's happening in all my business and your business. You tell me I can't see it, but you could see it. So that is how they treat us. This lady, this response that I'm getting is totally very disrespectful to me as a Carriacouan. And I would add one more thing. I'm paying more taxes than this lady. And I'm not drawing a salary from government, but you are. And your job description is to be of service to me. So what gives you the nerve or the gumption to tell me that I can see what belongs to the state? It's ours, not yours. I didn't ask you to see a letter between you and your husband. Ask you for state material. So you see, Kim, as part of this transformation, we ought to educate our people, you know. Again, I'm saying, give utmost respect to your officials, be it elected or selected, but by all means demand equal respect in return. Because after all, that's what they're there for. They're there to serve you, not to rule you, as Kate Michel and so will want the people to believe. And as soon as you open your mouth, the goons around you. I remember when I first started talking about the port. Well, I find Leo too stupid because if you want the port to fix, he can make all this noise. I don't understand.
No, he must make noise himself.
Yes, yeah. You're
Point
supposed
I'm
to keep quiet.
making,
Yes.
point I'm making, it's not yours, it's ours. And let us educate our people and our children. Give respect, demand respect. That's all.
Just
You
like
don't
that.
have to go and make no noise and cuss nobody and this, that. But be firm. I want knowledge. I want to be educated. Tell me what is going on in our business. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking you to do the impossible. And if you're not respectful of me enough to do what you're supposed to do, don't expect respect from me.
Just like that. Vibes FM, caller coming now. Caller, what's up, caller? What's up, caller coming? Oh, Simado, okay. Now, there's a loose cannon on board.
Mm-hmm.
There's a loose cannon on board. This is my way of describing this. This Kate Lewis, in my view, she's behaving like a loose cannon. Just open mouth and say anything without even thinking. Because I heard her speaking about, and so you just mentioned the importance of education. And our Honorable Prime Minister has been speaking about that for the longest while. Educating our youths, making sure people get a proper education, because that's the only way we could move up. We have to educate ourselves in whatever way it is. Even in the Build Back Better houses and things like that, you realize what they're trying to do? Trying to do things different, not the same old way because you're going to get the same old results. But this incident or this situation now with TAM CC and YOLO getting this free tuition, this loose cannon had this to say.
We are saying free tuition is not all, because our students need more. And we, the new National Party, understood that. That is why we said those who can't afford will get it free, together with transportation and meal assistance. What is so hard about that to understand? They prefer to say free for all, and then the majority cannot access it because there is no assistance for transportation. I'm going to say it again. It is a backward, failed policy of this administration.
Oh, do you hear that?
I wonder why she want to go out of her way and say things that she knows is not true.
A loose cannon.
It's a disease.
No, I did mention earlier that we should pray for this young lady and hope for the best. I misspoke just now by saying the other one, I have no faith. That's what I meant. I said no charity. I have no faith in her. So I don't expect anything good coming from that end. And if you look at or listen to these people who are supposed to be so righteous, I want to go on along when they go to confession now. I want to hear that. I want to hear.
Vibes FM, caller. Hello, you there?
Morning.
Yes, good morning. Yes.
Good morning. Yeah. Kim and the others here, I'm very, very sad and sorry for what's happening in Grenada right now. You know, Pete is talking about our Prime Minister riding on a helicopter. you all realize Kit is under damage control. Because a week before in Tivoli RC school, he said he goes to Miami and buy a shirt. And that is backfiring on him.
Right.
So he wants to make people feel, well, he's not the only one playing big boy. The Prime Minister is also a big boy. But the Prime Minister is getting a complimentary ride to promote Grenada.
Right.
But he's deliberately, personally says he goes to Miami and shop. He does not spend his money in Grenada.
Yes.
He's a big boy. The poor people stays in Grenada and shop around and support businesses. But he does not. So he's under damage control with that statement. That's what he's doing there right now. Thank you.
This caller is quite right about that, you know. He's insulting. No, he's been insulting the poor people of this country, and this is something that needs to be stressed out, because as we very well know, he in his position is so, what do you call it? Privileged. Should I use the word privilege, or so independent, or maybe he has funds or whatever that he could do almost anything you want to do when you want to buy a shirt. He could just go to Miami and buy a shirt.
Yeah.
But they can't do that. No.
Stay right here and
stay right there. And grind the grind, yes.
When you see the abusing people and the poor people that have been abused seem to have no help, the Almighty have a way. He just put things in the mouth that they mean to say, you know. You remember that lady in St. Patrick?
Uh-huh.
And Diablo had a few stints of himself where he's saying things that he ain't supposed to say. But God does punish him. But I think he must regret, oh God, he talk about this shit. Because how you could tell people, how you're so affluent, you're so GQ, you go and as we say in America, is going to Florida.
Yeah.
To buy shirt. Yes. Yeah. And them lunatic have to say in the bushery or going in Northwest and buy the old little thing because they're poor and vulnerable. And those are the supporters, you know. Those are the people that you mean so well for. Didn't you ever think that one day they'll want to go to Florida to buy shirt too? No. That's not it.
WhatsApp caller coming.
Good morning.
Yes, go ahead, yeah.
How you guys doing?
Okay, not bad at all.
Okay.
Always a pleasure listening to you guys. I'm calling from out of state again. The one thing I find, I want to also send my deepest sympathy and condolences to the folks that have died. I think the lady that died in the flooding a couple of days ago is from Peter Martinic, I heard.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, again, it's sad to see something like that. Just being out here, being Grenadian, seeing something like that. I mean, it hurts us. After Beryl passed and whatever destruction we did, that really, kind of sent a dagger into my heart personally. And I'm sure for most Grenadians, wherever they are, they feel the same. We haven't seen anything like that before, and we hope that there is nothing like that that would happen in the near future in Grenada. First of all, I want Grenadians to think positive. Don't say, well, we expect stuff like that coming again, because what you expect is what you may get. So let's look forward to positive things. Let's hope that we're going to have better weathers in the future. And if most Grenadians think that way, we have a better possibility of something like that happening. On the situation with, I see your station as an educational station. I listen to you guys. In fact, I started just recently listening to you guys after hearing Kem Jones talk about you guys. And I think you are doing a good job. However, what I want to say is that, when we grow up and we learn about history, we hear about Christopher Columbus, and they talk about Christopher Columbus coming to the Caribbean island and say that he found these places. Now, that was a blatant lie. That's stuck in most of us' head, and we can't even get rid of it, right? Even if we try to unlearn that, that is still there. What I want to advise you guys to do is make Kit Mitchell and the NNP irrelevant. And they are irrelevant right now, because right now they're dying. I would prefer if you guys educate and just educate on what is going on in Grenada, because when I hear Kit Mitchell on your radio station, it tells me about Kit Mitchell. Do I want to know about Kit Mitchell in his manner of speech? I don't. I don't, because he tells a lot of lies. I mean, the whole party is speaking of a lot of things that are really not true. Again, they're trying to survive, but it's let them send those messages to their supporters. We may hear it elsewhere, but I believe on all platforms that supports the NDC, we should talk about the relevant things that the NDC is doing. Fool my head with all of
them. Yeah, caller, go ahead.
What we're doing?
Yeah.
Let people
caller
perspective.
Yeah.
Come up with the points. Come up with the points that defeat what he's saying, but don't play him because you're making him relevant.
Okay.
And I don't want him to be relevant.
Right. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? And I understand that people want to hear certain things, but I don't feel that is because, as I said, I can't even unlearn Christopher Columbus found the Caribbean islands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't unlearn that because I heard it. No, I don't want to hear Kid. You shouldn't be the guys that are pushing Kid voice at all.
Okay.
Debunk it as much as you can. Debunk it. Just come up with the facts and talk about the things that happened. The same guy with the helicopter, talk about his mission, what he wanted to do, and what he offered. How the what's his name? The Prime Minister become on the scene there, and that's what we want to hear because that's the truth. When you come in and give me that, and you give me Kit, you're almost imbalancing my thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. I get you.
That's all I want to say. Okay.
Okay,
caller.
But you guys are doing a great job. I love your show.
Thank you, caller. Caller, before you go.
Yeah.
I'm not in disagreement with most of the things you said, but you see this Christopher Columbus bit. We grow to believe it because we've heard it so many times and nobody had countered Christopher Columbus' story. So it's now etched in our hard drive. Now, what Keith and his ilk are doing, they come in and push forth all these policies and have the young people who have, in some instances, are very gullible, you know. They hear something once and they run with it, and they're infecting other young people too. So it does, to a certain extent, it's our responsibility. Before any of the falsehood that is dropped on the ground, we must debunk it so that people don't hear it 3 and 4 times. And if you debunk it, I know you have conscience and you have shame, but you'll think twice before you repeat those stories that are not true.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But and the same thing I'm saying, you could debunk it without really putting him on all the time. Because I realize you guys are playing. That is sending me that message that Kit is on the scene.
Right.
I want you to say, okay, you heard that? Your job is, if you heard that, come on the station today and play that thing about 50 times. The same thing where they can land it on the thing. They play that about 1 million times because it's the information. Once the word is sent, that's what we hear. So if you come and you give me 2 pieces of message, I have these 2 things to try to disseminate, both of them.
Okay.
But when you come and you're only hitting me with the truth, you're giving me the truth. That's, I mean, what some people don't even hear what Kit Mitchell said. But when you bring that up now, that is an information you come and you put into my head that it's not relevant to me at all. I don't want it. It full space that I need to fill up later on with something that is substantial.
Right.
Now you're telling me Kit Mitchell. So let's just that's a suggestion anyway.
Yeah.
I used to do radio. I used to do radio before, and what I did was relevant stuff. If I heard you say something bad about me, I would go. Let's say it's like, okay, this person drove and they just passed a person on the road and they didn't pick up anyone. I would come back and say, well, most mornings when I'm going to my work, I pick up people on the road. I could even have people call in and say, well, this person picked me up. Almost every morning they pick me up, but that morning they passed. And what could have been going on with me that morning? It could have mean that I was trying to get somewhere quicker and I didn't pick up that person. But I'm not going to talk about the person that said that to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, caller. I'm listening. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And again, we talk about young people getting information. I think young people are smarter now. This lady just made a point just now. The lady in Carriacou where they were offering the house, and the little boy says, "Mommy, if you don't want to give it to me," it's because he has a different mindset. He has a different vision of things.
Right.
Most young people these days, listen, as Cam Jones always say, one set of people that goes to Kit Mitchell's meeting. They bust them there And look, I mean, I don't like to run down people because everybody is a person. But at the same time, we could also talk about the nature of these people that go to kids meeting. I mean, even when they talk about when you talk about the Prime Minister land, I'm just going to make that one point, just about him. When you talk about the Prime Minister landing in the park, you hear the people laugh. Like when a Prime Minister lands in a helicopter, is that something to laugh about? That's not laughable. But they laugh because they don't understand, they don't know better.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, and you don't see much young people in those events. You see like an older set of people and people that seems not to even have their own minds together. So I'm saying the information you're giving, send the information that we need to hear and not what Keith and them saying. Because when you send what Keith and them saying, you're almost compounding what they say.
Okay. All right. Colin.
Okay, it's just an idea. It's not that you have to go with
thank
that.
You,
it's
yeah,
just an idea.
Thank you very much.
To think about.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, bye-bye.
Great. Okay.
Take another line. WhatsApp caller come in.
Oh, hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, see Mr. Joseph. But I so 110% agree with that last caller. He made an awful lot of sense. Because as soon as I hear Kit Mitchell's voice and you replaying these things, I just switch down. I just don't want to hear him.
Yeah.
And he's right. You should talk about what is happening in Caribou, what our minister is doing, and so on and so forth. As soon as you start talking about Kit Mitchell, as that gentleman has said, you embedded what he's saying in my mind, and I don't want to hear it. I really don't. And kudos to that last caller. Thank you very much.
Okay,
and you all have a great day.
Okay, thank you
so
so much.
Love you all, and I love the program.
All the time.
Thank you.
Love you more. Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, 403-0101, 403-0101, 443-0101, 443-0101, and 458-1914. 458-1914. What's happening in Carriacou last week? And it's making headlines, and more is going to be done. As we had the launching of the dental chair, the dental service now in Hillsborough Clinic is, I want to use the word second to none, second to none, because we have everything there now, brand new with all the services, and the expertise are there as well to administer service. And the launching took place last week. Listen to a little bit of it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are witnessing the commissioning of the new dental unit for Carriacou and Petit Martinique. It has been one of the things that Minister for Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs and Local Government, Honorable Tevin Andrews, has advocated for when he was elected and became minister. So Tevin Andrews will pop some wine.
So this is our new dental unit. As we can see here, we have our operating tray, we have our spittoons, we have our chair can now go backward and forward, it can go up and down, we have our real stand, and we have a light, which is what we are praying for. I'm hoping and wishing for. We now have our new cavitron, where we can do scaling and polishing. We have our sterilizer, autoclave, and we have our compressor at the back of the building, just pushing the air into the chair. So we are comfortable. We're just hoping that the people of Carriacou will use it effectively. Once there's a dentist assigned for services, we are happy as practitioners because we know it's going to make our work easier than it was before.
So what existed before?
Before, we weren't able to be, it was not as comfortable as it should have been. Because we know with comfort, we're able to perform better. Now that we have it and it's brand new, and we know we have to take care of it as well, because this is how it's going to last us, we will promise as a dental team to take care of it. So the longer it is there, the longer we will do a better job.
Petit Martinique will be getting their own in short order as soon as the refurbishment is completed.
We now have one of our sponsors for the dental health week, is Malara Christopher. Riders and Miners Pharmaceutical Division.
Excellent. Thank you for your
So there are some sponsors on board for Dental Health Week, and we say thank you to all of them.
And my encouragement to the dental assistants, Government of Grenada, with the University of the West Indies, have scholarships available. 80% of your economic costs, which includes the tuition boarding and all that. 80% is taken care of. It didn't exist before, but it exists now. Take advantage of it. It's only 20% you have to cover. Yes, the 20% for dentistry is a lot, but it's way better than paying the 100%. So take advantage of this new policy by this administration. There's a need for dentists, an opportunity has been created. Take advantage of it. All right? And if there are young people from Caribou listening, there's an extra benefit that you get. If you're from Caribou and Petit Martinique and want to go and study in areas that we need, like dentistry, etc. So we've been making the call for 2 years now, and we only managed to get one young person who is currently studying in Jamaica doing dentistry. We need some more.
Okay, that was a minister there just wrapping up that piece of clip there. But before we move on, let me just take a call off the line. Vibes FM, WhatsApp caller, come in.
Afternoon, Vibes FM.
Yes, good afternoon.
I just want to say congratulations to two distinguished gentlemen, Kirani James. He has been bestowed honors of doctorate from the UE. We say congratulations. And to our beloved Prime Minister, he has been announced as one of the most influential persons who understand the issue of climate change, and he is really big on the world stage. At this recent conference, we say congratulations. And just a thought from what the previous caller that probably got from overseas said, have you ever heard our Prime Minister mention the name of the former Prime Minister? No, he haven't. Have a great day, everyone. I thank you, and my condolences to the young lady and the family who has lost their life during the flood. Have a great weekend.
Okay, thank you so much. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, go ahead. So, yeah.
Tim, I want to congratulate our government for that introduction of a new dental unit. And I'm doing so because years ago in Carriacou, you see what is now the marketing board on Main Street? Years ago, we knew it as a food storage center.
Yeah.
And dentists will come from the mainland, Dr. Radix, I remember him clearly, to do periodic, not cleaning, not filling, but extraction. Just extraction. And I don't know what the anesthetic they were using back then. Might have been strong rum, because the more they inject your gum, the more you feel the pain.
You remember that?
What you mean? The more you feel the pain. And I could remember an entire school sometime lining up to go to Dr. Radix for extraction. And all you hear in the line is, oh God, everybody and the brother crying. So I'm saying that to say, in CHS, I thought, I don't care what it is, we must have the latest as far as dentistry is concerned. So about 9 years ago, through a friend in Barbados, I was able to access a grant from an Australian company. And through them, we got what we now know as a dental X-ray at CHS, and that was functioning at CHS more than 9 years ago. That piece of unit with a sensor, when you go to the dentist and they put it in your mouth and you bite down on it, an X-ray machine will take a picture of your whole mouth. So the dentist can tell the condition of a tooth before they even get to it. So you see, when I think of attempts that we made to improve certain situations in Carriacou, Kim, if I didn't tell you that, now did you ever know that CHS has a dental X-ray?
I'm hearing that for the first time.
Well, that's been there more than 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You could talk to Dr. Dubois, you could talk to Dr. Hamlet, you could tell it, and it still is there at CHS. Something that I personally dealt with. I never read a grant in my life before, but I did and got a dental X-ray for CHS.
Okay.
So
Yeah. But these are things that are needed. It's so vital in our community.
vital. And
Yep.
I could only go to say kudos to the administration for something like that. Boy, we need it and we need it badly.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, yep,
Let me
yep.
take a
Thank you.
call.
Go ahead.
Landline caller coming first.
Hi, good morning. Honestly, good morning to you and good morning to the Prime Minister and all his teams and them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a problem with this seed office in Grenville, which is that we money, which is this is money. And we have couple of us those go to the office, and when we go to the office to make a transaction to get a little something from the seed money. You have those of them who sit in the office, they tell us that how we haven't got a seed officer, and it means you have to send up a seed officer in the office. Going over about 6 months now, 10 months now. But it was the NNP people. He have a seed officer for them, and I don't fit and scared to tell them that in the office. I say being other value NNP in the office, and I know that I'm a supporter and a NDC that I'll go turn me down. That's why I always telling the NDC, look for the people, look for the supporters, look for the campaigners and them. Look for them people because you see what the NNP and them doing. So as long as win party and I lose party in office together with the win party, things cannot go good because the most of the opposition people and them still in office because they are still in office. And I will repeat again, I call up on the NDC. I will look for all your supporters, look for all your campaigners, know who campaign and know who is vote for the party. I ain't saying that everybody go get. But and I say again, look for all the people because you see how they treating with people with this money in the Grenville office. And the next one again, I have a very good friend. We are stuck in. He said not here again to vote for Skater. So I say, you say not now because your party out of power. He said, no, man. Because he said about how he's benefiting a lot now when the NMP was there because the money he to get for hours, he didn't used to get that. But now he said that he's getting how much? I think that 950 an hour now. And he told me that it was how they treat his family with his mother. So good up, my friend. So I hope next election you give the NDC your vote. Have a good morning.
Okay, thank you so much, Jay. Okay, WhatsApp caller coming. WhatsApp caller. Hello. Caller, you next. Hello. All right. Okay, we're gonna get back on that there. Okay, 4030101 4030101. Next caller, you on. Caller coming. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna try to just do a little bit of adjustment there. Vibes FM, caller, you next. Hello. All right. So Leo, let me get back to you on what you were saying earlier on. Because the dental unit that you said that's in CHS been there for quite a while.
Yes.
Yes, and we in Karakuya needed service, as you very well know, because as you just realized now that the government has just commissioned one at the Hillsborough Health Center.
Uh-huh.
But these are things that are needed for the longest while in our community, and the past administration has not paid any attention to serving its people, to making sure that the services are there. And that is very, very bad. But it's good now on the for this new government to realize that we have to move to that level to provide a service that is so vital. Because you reminded me of Dr. Radix and those guys, Rapier.
Yeah.
When we used to line up in the school, because in those days when a dentist comes, it was extraction. There's nothing else than extraction. So your teacher would beg you to open your mouth to do an inspection, and then if they find things didn't looking as good as it should, They put you on the line, and that's where the boring starts.
Yes.
Before,
Going for extraction.
before
So,
extraction.
I probably know that I must find out from the folks at the clinic or the Hillsborough clinic, or probably from the good MP. I don't know if the new unit, the new chair that was brought to the clinic, does incorporate a dental X-ray. So
Okay.
if they don't have a dental X-ray, I know that there's one at CHS that is still up and running and in good shape. So probably we can make that addition to the new dental unit, if it doesn't have one, to make it for once a bit more complete then.
Yes.
Because
Oh, yeah.
you have no idea how important it is, both for the patient and the doctor, because the doctor could have a sense of what's existing in your mouth before they even ask you to open up your mouth
Mm-hmm.
through that dental X-ray. And it's a
Right. Yeah.
vital piece of equipment. And I tell
But
you, what you could think about somebody as me sitting down and writing a grant and communicating with people in Australia to get that dental X-ray. But every time I think about Dr. Radix, I say that I have to do it. And so that's how it was done. Yes.
Live FM. WhatsApp caller coming. Hello, caller. Yes. Good morning. Yes. Go
Good
ahead. Yes.
afternoon.
Good
Good
af-
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Not WhatsApp, not WhatsApp. It's long landline.
Yes.
Gentlemen, I've been listening to you, and you're doing a good job. Although some folks have issues, but I want to really look at something in relationship to what happened in Ireland on Tuesday. Now, we want to look at the flooding, especially with the St. John's River. Three rivers coming from St. George Northeast, connecting to flow down to the River Road area. Two major rivers coming from my direction, and then one from the Tempe area. And these are, especially the two coming from my area, they are big rivers. In fact, the longest bridge and the highest bridge in Grenada spans these two rivers coming there. And I'm wondering what has gone wrong with the River Road project and situation, which was geared to preventing this massive flood. No, this floods always took place. And so there was a project where we had to build high walls, fix bridges, and so forth. What I observed is that they built a wall on the roadside, but on the other side, there was no wall, or most of it was not there. That is why we had this disaster in the stadium. So I am wondering, when you see these rivers literally flowing, that river flowing over that bridge at Steel area there, where Steel has its auto place there, is a cause for concern. And we are wondering what has gone wrong with the finances and what has happened there with a project that is incomplete, that would cause such a disaster in the place, in the rural area. You looking at it on television and going there and watching the aftermath is something else.
Yeah.
How would we know stop the St. John's River from washing away anything in its way? Cause anything in its way, flowing down, dangerous. And after we had so much money spent, I used to be passing so much work going on there, and I don't know what has gone wrong there. But this project is far, and I stress, far from finished. What has gone wrong? And it lasted a long time, This thing was going on and on and on and on, like it was non-stop. And yet, what was being, that first project was supposed to stop, occurred again and worse. And I could remember years ago when they started the St. John's River, and I could remember when they bought
equipment, whether it's the bulldozer and thing, and they remove the stones. And a lot of Grenadian engineers were saying, do not remove the stones. There's big stones in the river, they're for purpose. It slows down the velocity of the river. Because higher up the river, in the Monge, just after the call service center, there's a bridge that is not as high. But the river does not even come up to the close state. Because in that portion, go right back. We have massive, and I tell you, massive stones there. But from the time you leave that area and you pass the call service center, it's free range. So water coming down with a vengeance. So I don't know what has to happen, but we must go back to the drawing board with this river road flood mitigation project. Because it's a thing that will happen over and over again if it's not addressed. And might I add, sometimes the rain might not fall very heavily in the tongue of St. George, I should say. And outside might look gloomy and so on. Not as what I'm saying on Tuesday, but rains might be falling heavy in the north. And the rivers are coming down here. So something has gone wrong, and we need to get this situation there. I don't know what this government is going to do now, because so much money was spent to prevent what has happened. So this is a serious situation in our country.
Yeah.
And finally, so I don't know what the authorities are going to do about that. We have to investigate and do something about that. And finally, I don't really know. I'm not sure if Miss what's her name, Kate Lewis. I heard she was a teacher before she went into politics. I'm not sure if I'm correct.
I think she still is.
She was a teacher?
Still is.
She still is a teacher?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to tell Miss Lewis you are a disgrace to the teaching fraternity.
Yeah.
No excuse whatsoever. We don't stand for that nonsense. And you have to hold yourself as a teacher, as an example for children. I know as a teacher, I used to tell my big boys and girls, imitate me. If you see me doing nonsense, you have the liberty to. And they are looking at you. And they are looking at you. And she must. I agree with the gentleman that you mustn't spread all this, whatever about, what's his name?
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
But I think Kate Lewis is trying to be, I think she needs to go back to the drawing board. Maybe she has to learn a little psychology, They teach you all that. But something is wrong with that woman. And I stand here as a professional, a retired professional, to tell her. And I would like her to hear that. And I'm not afraid to tell her in the face. You are disgrace to the free teaching fraternity. You don't say this nonsense because you know what you're saying is not true for political garbage. And if you are saying that, and our young people are here, they're hearing that, and they're looking towards you as an adult, as somebody they could look up to, as somebody as example to them. I make no apologies for that. That Miss Lewis, you are a disgrace to the teaching fraternity that was founded on the 20th of June 1914, madam. And as a former one, I feel hot to know that you are pulling down our noble profession. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you.
Boy, she's genuine, passionate about what she's saying.
Always.
Yeah. And situation like that, we need to take care. We need to address them, because as she just mentioned there, to the teaching profession, so Leo,
Yes,
back.
sir. Yes. Some solution, I can't refer to it as a mouthful, I must refer to it as a belly full. She said it all.
Yeah.
You said it all.
Yeah. But getting back to dentistry and what is now being provided for Caracou. You heard the minister at the end of that clip stating that they are trying to get as many people to go out there to study, giving them scholarships to develop the skills, in areas of dentistry if they're interested, or there are other areas as well too if they would like to, which I think is a good opportunity for young people now to take advantage of.
Absolutely. There's so much that are available to them. They don't have to be a full-fledged dentist. They could be a dental hygienist.
Yes.
And that those are the people who you go to the dentist, they clean your mouth and do a damn good job of it. And there's my dentist here in New York is the son of Dr. Lamuel Stanislaus. And he and his father's been in the business for a number of years. And there's a young Jamaican girl there that's been assisting there for as long as I've been going there. And now the lady, you swear she's a doctor, she just knows about anything that the doctor wants done, tell her to do it, and she's on her own.
Yeah.
So there are too many things that are available to youngsters nowadays that we should just settle for the bushing and Imani. And Imani is meant to be a training program. It's just a program of abuse. Remember, you had more Imanis in Rum Shop than anything else. What you learning there?
Sorry, hold a second. Vibes FM, London caller coming.
Hello, good day. How are you guys doing?
Okay, already.
Right. A little concern. During the passage of the weather system the other day, I and most people in my neighborhood was out of electricity for about 4.5 to 5 hours. Now, the bundled telephone system or the bundled telephone service I have from my service provider does not operate once there is no current, right? Now, that gave me some anxiety during the period because rain, cats and dogs, bucket are dropped, and I cannot get in touch with anybody. And that didn't only go for me, it went on for other people in the neighborhood. Now, I have learned in St. Vincent that does not happen because that same service provider provides their customers with a battery for backup service in the unlikely event that they are without current. And they have been doing that in St. Vincent about 2-3 years now. And my question is, why can't the local telephone or the local service provider do the same thing for us here in Grenada? If the case of the bad weather the other day is a case in point, people cannot get in touch with schools, they cannot get in touch with their children, they don't know where they are, the traffic on the road, everything back up. And imagine you there trying to get in touch with your loved one, children or whatnot, and you don't know what to do. Secondly, I'd like to extend my sympathy to the family of the young teacher who lost her life. And I would like to suggest that when one gets in such difficulty, if you are locked inside a car in the water, your savior, not everybody mightn't think about it, but if you have it, your savior is your headrest. If you pull out the headrest and prise open the window, you can bust it out. And it's very, very simple, but not many people know about it. And then again, not everybody might be able to be thinking about that. But that is something people should have in their mind. That is not all over once you could pull out your headrest. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Chair. All right. What this caller is saying there, as you just mentioned about the headrest, there was a conversation, a couple of, not too long ago, maybe yesterday, I think it was a few hours, anyway, and they were saying that if there wasn't anything in the vehicle that she could have maybe used, to price that glass, because those glasses are very strong, and with the engine switched off, as it was said in the news, the possibility that the power system couldn't work anymore. But now that he mentioned the headrest, which was never brought up in our conversations, I think it's something that people should think about and maybe talk about if a situation like that, God forbid, were to occur with them, they might have something that they might be able to use.
But Kim, when you go into those split seconds there, and you're seeing life and death in front of you, those things, to think about those things at that time, is not always coming.
But I'm saying,
I'm just saying that you always know what to do after this situation.
Right, yeah. But if you're knowledgeable and sometimes you think about things, you never know what could happen anyway in emergency. Yeah, and that were to be available to you if you were to get into a situation like that. I think you're going to think quick enough to remember what to do.
What to do?
To do. Okay. Right. Okay. So Leo, back to you. Yeah. Now you just been following up, on what's taking place in Karaku right now, and the situation as we're speaking about now with the Manis that have been deprived of a proper education and just been taken as a voting farm for the longest while, is what the government is trying to change now. That's one of the focus. They're trying to educate the population and move them to the next level where they'll be able to take care of themselves.
Look, there's such.
Hello. Yeah. Okay, just lost Soliori. So while we're waiting on him, let me take a call. Vibes FM caller come in.
Yes, hello. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, yeah.
I just wanted to ask if people would agree that it's man's interference with nature that's causing the problems that we see. For example, River Road was interfered with. When you look at the videos, you're seeing the water is finding its natural course. Yeah? And the older people say that is where the river was. Okay. Going back to now where the young lady lost her life. I remember a gentleman called Mr. Thompson, who is a consultant, and he was advising the government then, do not commercialize that area because it is the last, now I don't want to say watershed. Mr. Leo probably knows the correct term to use. But in that area, there are 2 wells and all. Yeah? And he saw it as plan B for Nawasa to supply water. It's a waterlogged area. They did a lot of work to backfill and landfill and all kind of thing. But no, who knows the source of the water that used to come down there? Mr. Coy lived in Grenada, and I'm sure he covered stories when Woodlands had big flood with water coming through that very area. Some smart person came up with the idea that maybe if we landfill and we lift it a little bit from the road, it would stop that. But you see now, it cost us a life, because I remember Mr. Thompson warning the government against commercializing that area. Now, there is a school also in that area. Come on, people. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
WhatsApp caller coming. Thank you for waiting. Caller, you next. Hello? Hello, yes. Go ahead, yes.
I'm looking for a gospel singer.
Hello?
I'm looking for a gospel singer.
Oh, okay.
All the guys singing on Sunday, a lot of gospel. You
I was lost for a while there. I was lost for a while there. But if you ask me if it was me, I would say it was the spirit singing in me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
Kim, what I think was Philly. I want to say about the address.
Yeah.
To different the black. It's a good idea. But have you ever taken a headrest?
Well, I mean, we have them. I know them. They're available in most vehicles now. but never thought about.
Have you ever taken one?
Huh?
Have you ever taken one?
Yes, yeah. Oh, of course. Sometimes you see they come in very handy if you're trying to relax yourself, and the seat, and sometimes you need to make an adjustment with it, and sometimes I remember the first time I took it off and it came off just like that. Whoops! And I had to.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
But when you're under pressure, you're tense. I don't think the average person will be able to hit this.
Well, yeah, but like I say, if you know about it and you're under pressure, you might click it. It might click.
You can know, yeah. Or maybe what we should do, maybe have a workshop. It's a good idea with Taylor said, yeah?
Yeah.
Have a workshop like sorry, like a football hammer or something. It's a good idea, you know?
Yeah.
On that pressure, I don't think we're gonna be different. Even for ladies as well. For ladies.
Yeah.
Another one, did you listen to the point and shoot there?
Say it again, please. Sorry.
Did you all listen to the point and shoot there?
I listened to quite a bit of it, yeah. And I was very surprised to hear what Peter was saying and speaking about. I mean, I just shook my head through the entire part of it because everything he was saying there was so, I mean, really ridiculous. I don't know what word. He was so untrue. He was just debunking everything like when the government, the NNP government was there, everything was A-OK. There was no faults or nothing of the nature. And he had all the solutions. I feel sorry for him.
You know what I'm surprised too? When
Caller. Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
My phone, yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Citizen rulers go like the new government doesn't list, yeah. You're happy, but in the meantime, they report him and say, well, like when you was there, you wasn't listening as well. You can send a fumble.
Right. Yeah.
Well, fumble, yeah. And he's sounding just like Miss Faye now, Miss Faye. You know Miss Faye?
Yeah, I heard of her.
He's sounding just like her now. Go back and listen when you go see. Just like Miss Faye.
Yeah, well,
no difference.
Well, one of the things what I realized with them, is that they all have to sing from the same hymn book, But it's embarrassing when you hear statements of the nature coming from people who are knowledgeable, and you look at them and you wonder, you say to yourself, I mean, are they speaking the truth? I mean, no, not speaking the truth because they're not speaking the truth. But I mean, why are they saying what they're saying? I mean, is that the way they have to behave? I mean, I don't understand the behavior. I'll be very honest with you.
I mean, I have a likeness for Peter, yeah? I'm being honest with you, yeah?
Yeah.
I have a likeness for him. But after Tuesday, I lose all ounce of respect for him. I have no respect for him, no respect. No.
No, well, you see, my view, and this is my view, he's in a monkey pants where he's there. He's almost, well, I call it dead end, but you don't dead end until you come to the dead end. But what has happened with him is that he's no longer an item inside the NNP, and he cannot be an item in the NDC. And then he's not in a situation now where he could maybe go on his own at this stage of the game to form a third party that would be, significant, that's going to have some impact in the country. So he's basically, just riding the wave and hoping that maybe it might break some way for him, but not with the NNP. I don't see that because Diablo ain't going nowhere, and he's running. He's running for the next election. We know that. He said so. He's running. So now, in other words, what I'm seeing there is Peter is in a situation now whereby he's thinking maybe that he could get the leadership, but Diablo is not going to give it to him. No way.
Not
right. So now he's thinking maybe he could get it maybe through the democratic means, whatever. But Diablo in the meantime is doing his campaigning to make sure that he secure that before he call the the convention. And if you listen when they talk about convention, there too, he as he's the general secretary, he's assistant or whatever.
Assistant.
He's assistant
No,
there.
Bola is the
Yes, okay, right, yes. Okay, Bola is the head. So now the situation is that now he has been a part of the executive, can't even talk about the convention. The convention is basically in the hands of Diablo, and Diablo is running things just the way he wants, and he's going to run for the next election. So in other words, and he said he's running, and if he's not running, that it, like Diablo said, if he's running, there's nobody else that's going to lead the party.
Is a candidate. Is there a possibility of Keith Mitchell candidate for NNP? But at the same time, Keith Mitchell is not the political leader of the NNP. Is that a possibility? No. That possibility will not exist.
You hear that for yourself? That
yes.
that exists.
And it would not exist.
It would not exist.
Peter have no. You know why? The Diablo told him, Misfit, you have confidence in Misfit, and also for deputy leader, he's the one always grinning. He's the one always grinning. He was in America the last time with a green jersey. Grinning. You know whose son is this for now?
Yeah.
He's a teacher.
So.
Oh my God, she's deputy now. She's in line for to be deputy.
Listen.
You understand that?
Hold on. And nobody is in any position to be anything where Diablo is there. That's it. He's the Mr. Everything.
But yes, because he said yes, you know them that could be leader. Able to be leader.
That's just for the media. And that's just to keep them close, keeping people close to you, making them believe that the possibility exists, but in reality it doesn't.
No, but Kim, he told them, the 14 of them that was there before when he was in power, when they were before the election, they see none of them that could be leader. So they were to be leader.
Right. So with that being said, at that time, you think they change now?
Because remember, he went after a lawyer in grade up to be leader as well. He went after somebody in Europe to be leader as well, a young girl. You remember that?
I think she was from the UK. I think was you speaking about what's her name again? Akima? Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the lawyer in the chairman of the bar association.
Yeah, but then you see, but you see again when you watch somebody playing a game, and you watch them closely, you know this game is being played there. It's either you decide to go inside the game and play, or you decide to stay out of the game. Mm-hmm. And most people now would rather stay out and watch the game being played if they feel like watching, other than that they don't want to be part of it. That's it, you know.
The other thing for Mr. Leo, have you ever seen one of the ministers in the previous administration, children, a daughter or sons in the money program?
Okay, well, the thing about it is that Leo just dropped off there with sort of lost his connection because he was online with us there from New York.
Yeah. Have you ever seen him, one of the former administration ministers, children in the money program?
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. No, I don't think they're going to send the kids there. No way. No. That the money program is a voting farm, you know. You realize that? That's simple. That's it.
Well, Kim, I have friends in NNP, yeah? And they sit down, we sit down on rock, yeah?
Uh-huh.
And they tell me point blank that if I'm like to win the election,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, they call the vulnerable. They say if you have 8 people in one house, you give them 450 for each children. What you expect who they will vote for? And I can't say that my position at the time.
Mm-hmm, okay.
Yeah. But God came, God intervened. June 22nd, 2022?
Yep.
When is the election?
Yeah, 2022, yeah. June 22nd, yes.
Yeah, June 22nd, yeah. God came and said, no, we can't take more.
It was divine intervention.
Simple.
That's it. So we're very lucky. Yeah.
Anyway, have a good evening.
All right, but thank you so much there. 443-0101, 443-0101, 403-0101, 403-0101, and you can also call 414, No, 458, sorry. 458-1914. 458-1914. You can call any one of those numbers right now if you want to join in the conversation. In the meantime, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a little clip there as it pertains to our pension, or what was taking place very soon.
The front. Oh, okay. The gentleman sitting at the front of the boat in the purple. For us, he represents the public officers who are secured, the people who have no issues with their pension, their job is secured.
Okay, we're just going to pause the calls for just a little while. Let's take another telephone call. Vibes FM caller, you are on. Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kim.
Yes, good afternoon. Yes.
Afternoon, Mr. Coy.
Yes,
Mr.
go ahead.
Kim.
Yeah.
Just what you were saying there just now. The NNP had the Imani as a voting
farm.
You know, like when you put chicken to hatch.
Mm-hmm.
So they was hatching these young people.
Mm-hmm.
So now these young people come now in 2022. Our young leader, dynamic young leader, see the vision to take out these young children from this poverty and take out their parents on poverty and trying to give them an education regardless of who you are, whether you are NNP, whether you're NDC, whether who you are, children. It say that across the board you could get free tuition to go to the TAMCC and whatnot. And this lady, Miss Kate Lewis, as a teacher and as a parent, she's come as a parent now, come out and saying this thing is fail and how much children dropping out from TAMCC and she see what, because you know why? The youths and them now, eyes open, and they know they cannot fool the youth because the youths go back to school 16, 17, maybe drop out maybe from GBSS or from what school. So now they get a second chance. You know when you get a second chance and somebody lifts you up and your eyes open and you see the light and you say, well, no, this is the road to walk. And the children see the writing now on the wall and they're going through the process to big up themselves, to raise up themselves, to stop depending on a man to give them a fish, right?
Yeah.
Instead of that, this NDC is giving them bait and a line and a bucket and say go out to get your own. So Kate Lewis is so illiterate. She says she's a teacher, but I could never believe that woman is a teacher. The way how she pronounced her words were so bad pronounced and everything. And you know she's doing as if what the NDC government is doing is not good for the children. It's fail and she's lying and saying much children drop out from TAMCC. And that woman is lying. I can't believe how she could be teaching in a school where, you know, like this school. I don't know why they have a teacher there like she. Because that woman is not a teacher. Because she just wants the children to remain dunce and to depending on a government to give them something. But you see the children's eyes is open now and everybody is trying to look up. So that woman is just making herself a fool and trying to lie to the Grenadian people and say how much children drop out from TAMCC. But I find time for Kate Lewis to stop this nonsense.
But I call her my way of describing her is a loose cannon, you know, because she just turn loose and
yeah, because
out of control. Out of control, I don't understand.
Yeah, hey, this woman is a fail. And how much children drop out and they do tricks, and she's speaking so bad. When I know Westmoreland School, this woman couldn't get a teaching work in Westmoreland School. When Mr. Steele and all these kind of bourgeois people go in Westmoreland School must be really fall down. That this woman, so she said you should glad that young people is getting a second chance to raise up themselves and to come out from poverty. You want them now to stay inside this voting farm, and then afterwards now to depend on a $200 or $300 or $800 or $700 instead of they could go and make their own money. Mr. King, I tell you, I'm sorry for this woman. And you know they're going on the platform and lying. That is what lying and saying this kind of a thing. You know, it really upset me when I hear that woman talk and line and say how much children drop out. 700 and how much children graduate from TAMCC. This is what you call drop out?
Yeah. But
This is what she called dropout.
But I believe if they keep on repeating this lie all the time, that people would believe it after
People
a while.
will continue believing, and then after the youth would say, well, this is not a program for me and whatnot. But the situation is for all Grenadian children, not for NDC people alone. All, if you're an NNP or user one and you want to go on for your education, you want to go and lift up yourself to be a something good, a plumber, a mason, or something you want to make up yourself. It's for everybody. And that these people and them condemning that.
Yep.
They condemning every good thing that the NDC is putting on board, everything. And when they was in power, they never had nothing good.
Well,
I want you to come out and say one thing that they had good. And they can't come out and say. Diablo insulting the people and them, telling them he could go in a Miami, but the poor people, and they laughing and they clapping, and these people and them can't understand what the man's telling them. It's time for we Grenadians to wake up and open my eyes and take out the walks in the ears and see what's going on in Grenada. These people and them just want to come back just to be in power, but then coming back to help Grenadians. They want to come back just to be in power and to have us back down in chain. But this will never happen.
Yep. Okay, caller.
Have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you so much, there.
Okay, thank you.
443-0101, 443-0101, 403-0101, and 458-1914. Speaking about, there's some of these comments that's making sometimes, which to me, is very irresponsible. But the Imani project, and as Kate was saying there, in that the few tuition that they're giving them now, is
not all.
Yes, not all.
Not all.
But when they were there, why didn't they give the few tuition? What they were given? They wasn't given nothing like that.
No. No. I can't understand what is the complaint here really. Okay, nobody says the free tuition is all. It's everything. We know that those children need to eat. We know those children have to go to school, have to get transportation to go to school. They have to get books and so on and so forth. What is the problem? You give few free tuition and you complain and saying that is not all. Of course we know that's not all. But that's why they're giving them the free breakfast now every morning. That is why they have transportation services available. So what is the point of saying giving them $810? $810 paying for every student.
But they weren't giving any.
That is not all. That's not sufficient.
Vibes FM caller, London caller.
I don't understand.
Yeah. Hello, good afternoon. Please indulge me for one more call.
Yeah.
Mr. Coy. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Do you remember that in 1980, the new Jewel movement gave free tuition to all secondary school students?
Yes.
In those days, we used to call it school fees. Good afternoon.
School fees.
School fees.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Yeah. I mean, what is the problem? I mean, what is the problem?
School fees. I paid school fees from start to finish, and when I came after I traveled, when I came back and understand that it was free school, no more school fees, I said, what? I should born again.
You wish you
was born again.
Yes. But no, I mean,
we used to struggle.
Yeah.
As much as it was, I remember it was $18 when it started, and then it moved to $24, and then whoa, we went from 24 to 42, and we made. I remember making a joke over that, because it was 24, the smaller number in front of the bigger number, and then I came up with a sort of a slogan like says, well, when you're big, you're supposed to lead. So the four decided, listen, you can't stay in front of me. Let me go in front the other way.
And it's 42 now.
And now we end up with 42. But I'm just saying, I was very, very impressed when I heard free education, no school fees, and even books and everything like that was given out now. And to me, that's a plus. And whatever assistance you could get, is a plus. But what I'm saying is, they're there. Why didn't they give this few tuition? And then the next thing that is so disappointing about it is that they don't want to give people. In other words, they want to divide the students who could afford and who could not afford. And they would look now maybe at a parent situation to decide, well, hey, you look like you're rich because you have a big house. They don't know if you have a mortgage. They don't know your commitments or nothing of the nick be. So you could afford to pay. And then you living in a wooden house, whatever, then you can afford, so you're going to get it. And that's where the division starts. That's what they were doing. And that is unfair too, because everybody needs assistance. Yeah. And if it's free education for everybody, free tuition for everybody, let it go across the board. Why trying to see if we could make a difference between people? Yeah, makes no sense. Yeah. But this is part of what they're going. But I am for free tuition every day. $800+ you're saving. You're joking, man.
Yes.
Especially for parents.
I mean, the $810 in a case where you're saving, it didn't exist before. Right. In the sense that you get a break from something. Break from what? It didn't exist before. So getting $810 has to be seen as a win-win. You are going to be given the opportunity and access to have an education, without that, I mean, parents and so on and guardians may have been struggling just to meet that commitment. But as I'm saying, I don't understand how exactly they interpreting this education system.
Interpreting, listen, they have nothing to say.
Well, they have no talking points. Well, of course, talking points. Talking points is always there with my friend and comrade. But yeah, can they find something other than responding to these things as talking points, as issues where the people are going to be interested in?
Now you see what happens is that what this government is doing right now is making such a great impact in the lives of people that they're seeing that the chances of getting back in there is getting slimmer and slimmer.
So it's desperation. Desperation then.
That's why Diablo getting on like that too, You realize, listen, this thing just took effect, on him to the way he's jealous now. He can't think. He's upset. You talk to your prime minister. You must talk. Somebody can talk to the man.
And he says, "Your prime minister."
Yes,
he's telling his he's telling his
prime minister
supporters.
Yes,
I mean, he's look at it from the other side. That he's telling his supporters that your prime minister. He wasn't talking to the NDC people. He was in his zonal meeting.
Yeah.
So he was telling his supporters, your prime minister, and you could see he's talking to other people when he said, and those people from the NDC ain't telling him anything. So it's not the NDC he was talking to all the time. He was talking to his supporters and telling them. But imagine that in Twitter, he telling his supporters, your prime minister. So he keep himself out of that.
But and not even that too, But I would expect someone like him would say our prime minister too. If he wants to use some inclusion. Yeah, but not that. And then he's so upset. He's telling them, listen, talk to the man. Somebody must say something that's nonsense.
I don't want anybody to believe I have a problem with the person. I don't have a problem. I have a problem with the behavior and the attitude.
You hear the anger in there? He vex. I have no problem with the person. Of course he has a problem with the person.
Precisely.
Listen to the problem.
With the person, I don't have a problem. I have a problem with the behavior and the attitude.
Yes.
People are suffering in the country.
Yeah. Gosh.
People cannot feed their children, but you're riding in a helicopter.
Look at the comparison. Look at the comparison here. Because people can feed their children, you ought not to be riding in a helicopter. You should be riding a donkey. Is it that?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Where's the logic and where's the reasoning here?
But let me say something to you. And a caller mentioned to us earlier on, in that I asked the Prime Minister on 2 occasions, once live on air, I don't have the clip here, and once in a private conversation. How do you sort of ignore the former Prime Minister when he's speaking and making all his criticism and everything like that? I asked him that. And his answer, I think, remember on air, right in the studio, I think he said to me that if we concentrate on what this man doing there, he wouldn't have time to do his work. And what he's saying there is basically things said in the wind with no substance. So why bother to take him on to respond? And that happened in the campaign, if you remember. At one time when they spoke about Susu, you remember with Susu?
Yeah.
And he responded.
He said Susu
Susu does boss.
On the bank does boss.
Bank does boss.
Sorry. Bank does boss.
Susu doesn't boss.
Susu don't boss. Yeah.
And then he went on further to continue the
Take
statement.
Susu.
Take Susu in your
And
the crowd and the crowd finished it off there. But this is something that sometimes we need to ignore anyway. In that when they're speaking all this nonsense, whatever like that, they just forget about them, because the positive thing that's happening is what we should highlight. And I was speaking earlier on about our pension that would be passing through very soon. And I think it's a great idea. And I've been speaking to some folks about it because some of them don't understand and they want to know what it's all about. And I said to them, I'll play the clip today, listen to it carefully to what is going to be taking place and how are you going to benefit.
The front. Okay. The gentleman sitting at the front of the boat in the purple, for us, he represents the public officers who are secured, the people who have no issues with their pension, their job is secured. And we also think it represents the private sector workers who believe that this has nothing to do with them, and so they have nothing to worry about when it comes to this situation. When we look at the choppy waters, for us, this choppy waters represent the current situation with some of our public officers in the public service that are experiencing low morale as a result of the disparity with pay, terms and conditions of engagement, and the dysfunctional performance management system that we are experiencing. The other gentleman sitting next to the satisfied and, well, we wouldn't want to say unconcerned, but the public officers and the private sector workers who figure there's nothing for them to do. For us, he represents the policymakers. And these are the ones you notice he take a little step forward and he's taking a dim look at things because he's trying to decide what are the decisions that I need to make. So him representing the policymakers, the cabinets, the people who have the administrative functions to perform, the DPA, the PSC, and our senior managers board. When we look at the two gentlemen at the back, they are the ones making all the noise. We notice these are the unestablished public officers who are not eligible for pension. They are the ones who are not secured with their tenure. And these are the ones who are crying out and asking what can be done to make things different for me. And
so what the press secretary just did there is just to give you a rundown of who is in there at the time. And then they made the presentation. And then we had our Honorable Prime Minister coming back, taking questions and doing some further explanation as it pertains to pension. Listen to what he had to say.
We have to deal with the reality. This pension plan is going to be applicable to 3,000 plus persons who do not have a pension. So if they leave the service now, whether it's on retirement age or whether they've worked for 10 or 15 years, they get nothing. So what the government is seeking to do is to give them a pension plan. And the government is contributing 3%, and we're asking them to contribute 3%. So that 3% is their money. The only issue is that we are simply saying, as opposed to spending all of it now, we are incentivizing you to save 3% of it, and we are matching an additional 3%. And to be clear, for all of the years that you've been working that you do not currently have a pension plan for, so that if you were leaving tomorrow, you will get nothing when you walk out, we are actually paying a past service contribution on the commencement of the pension plan. As in, we are going to fund a certain percentage to recognize the fact that you've already worked for whatever period of time with no payments going towards your pension. So I want to emphasize this. This is gain, because currently you have nothing. If you leave now, you get nothing. If you work until you retire, you get nothing. And we're saying that you see the numbers. We're not talking 5 people here. We are talking 3,600 plus persons who currently face this situation. And so we also have to talk about sustainability. The PS provided the background as to where Grenada found itself and why it was forced to go into structural adjustment and take all of the painful policies it had to take because the management of the government's finances was not being done prudently. And so we cannot go back to a system where the pension is completely funded by the government, i.e. taxpayers, with no contribution from the employees. Such a plan will simply not be sustainable. And if we did it 5-10 years from now, we'll be right back where we currently are. Because the situation we're in has arisen by the fact that essentially we had an unsustainable human resource finance management policy in place, which saw 70% of our money going towards wages and salaries, and the rest going towards financing debt. I still want to repeat the call made by the PS. Very early, the department wrote to the Trade Unions Council, inviting them to take part in this process. They have never done so. Notwithstanding that, we will continue to engage with them, whether it's individually or collectively, if they want to do so. The consultant has been on island repeatedly throughout this process, and there's been several engagements, and we have no difficulty in addressing that. The PS didn't say this, but I'm going to say it. The Public Workers Union went to the lawyers who wrote the government. We've since responded to that letter. And even in that letter, although what was contained in the letter was hogwash, we have still indicated to them we are ready to meet, and we propose the date of 30th October. But I want to make it clear, we are committed to doing this. We are committed to making sure that we do not leave the current generation of workers who do not have a pension to find themselves 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now retiring with no pension in place. It will not be good for them. They will retire into poverty, as many people have been doing over the last several years. It is still going to be the government and taxpayers they're going to be running to for some kind of social safety net or social protection. And so we are committed to ensuring this happens. And I'll make the final point. This pension is not impacting the 4,000 plus public servants who currently fall under the existing pension scheme for pensions when they retire. So you have to appreciate the kind of burden the government is undertaking by seeking to keep in place the existing pension for established public servants and at the same time create another pension for another 3,600 plus and counting persons. That is what we are seeking to do, and we are committed to do it. And we would hope that those who say they champion the rights of working class and working people will in fact take part in the process to help shape the outcome, which is by any yardstick an improvement on the current circumstances that the 3,600 plus workers find themselves in. So I just wanted to make that point. The government hasn't found itself in this situation because of the Pension Disqualification Act. The government has found itself in this situation because, as provided by the context, the past governments found themselves in a situation where 70% of each dollar collected by the government was being spent on wages, salaries, pensions, and other employee-type benefits, the other 30% on debt. Past administrations, and in particular the new national administration, took the position, in addition to having to deal with the structural adjustment program, to employ people without giving them pensions. In other words, to employ them and not put them on quote-unquote the establishment, simply because they would not be able to meet the requirements and the conditions set out by the IMF, etc. So hence they had to do a number of things. Attrition policy, hire people under all kinds of schemes, not giving them instruments, contract for service, contract of service, etc. And so yes, we are now in a position where you have thousands of persons who do not get any pensions. That's the reality. The court judgment simply applied to established public officers who were not being paid a pension pursuant to the government's view of the Pension Disqualification Act. This pension does not apply to them because currently the law for established public servants guarantees the pension pursuant to the various pension acts, whether it's police, prisons, etc. As part of the pension reform, and to ensure sustainability and to ensure that we do not find ourselves in a position that we've been in again because of the actual size of the public service, which when you add the 4,000 plus the 3,000, it's almost 8,000 or 9,000 persons going forward. If a new person is hired in the public service, when this Pension Act comes into being, it is this Pension Act that will apply to them. That is the only way in which we will be able to sustain a pension scheme and to be able to manage prudently the government's ability to sustain wages, salaries, and other benefits for employees. So to answer your question, yes, once this Pension Act comes into effect, new hires under the public service for pension purposes will be for this particular pension scheme.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for your response. Linda, I hope that answers your next question.
Did not, but because my other question was whether or not we are going to have constitutional reform, because that court order was based on constitutional right.
For established...
Are we going to remove that right for established workers? My question...
So can I answer the question? The persons who currently do not have pensions are not established workers. They are not. And there is nothing in law that says the government must hire people on the basis of established positions or posts. Only the government is free to contract on any basis with persons, including the very basis that they've been contracting with them now, contract of service, contract for service, masking them as Imani trainees when they're employees, having people work with no documentation of the fact that they're your employee. We can go on and on. That is not unconstitutional. What we are saying is policy-wise, it is harmful. It is not financially sustainable for the employees because they have no indefinite employment. They are able to leverage their employment to go to banks and financial institutions to be able to use the proceeds of their work and their salaries to help themselves, to educate themselves, to get loans, etc. So these are policy issues. And this government will not pursue inherited policies which continue to impoverish people who work. And hence the reason why we are committed to this pension reform.
Okay, so that was the Prime Minister there explaining the whole thing about pension. And I guess that those who's interested in that, in the information, getting it again one more time. So as you realize now that that is on the table, and the thing I like about it is that people who have served in a position for quite a number of years are not going to lose that years of service. The government is going to pick up the tab on that. Mm-hmm. So if you've been working in a position of say 10, 14, 15 years, not getting pension or you have to continue working, they're going to take that tab up and then start you off, from that point now where you start paying again and add that on to the backlog, which they would have taken care of. You can't go better than that.
I don't think so. I think it's a very win-win situation for workers in this country. The issue of pension is an age-old-long thing that has benefited people in each generation. Pension, it's a social factor that everybody who works, in fact, in the labor code, the whole issue of benefits to workers and so on is so important. And I think I'm seeing and I'm hearing that this Prime Minister doesn't take that for granted. In other words, he believes people should be able to get something at the end of the tenure of work, and do not retire in poverty. And we have seen so much of this happening in the past. And so I could see the commitment, the dedication of this Prime Minister to ensure that to ensure that this generation of workers benefit and they don't work all their years, all their lives, and do not have anything to show for it as pension in the end.
Well, speaking about pension there, and I remember growing up, my grandfather, and those who had traveled abroad, went to maybe Trinidad, Aruba, and these places like that.
Venezuela.
And and when they come back, they look forward to that pension. I remember they say, that's the first time I started hearing about pension. Yeah, that's when they were enjoying the benefits of their hard labor in the years when they need it now. and every month or whenever they go to the post office
and get the
and pick up the pension.
Yeah, I mean it's something that.
Vibes FM caller, Lana caller coming.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. That's Grenada Mandela.
Aye, hey, what's up?
That's Emmanuel, you know. I was just saying, yeah, with my program there, with the thing there,
yeah,
with my case.
Yeah.
The lady, thank the lady for sending a liar for me, but the liar is a joker for himself. You know, instead of the liar come and check me, the liar gone and finding out certain things, what I don't even know, and then send back message and say, well, my case was tried. By who? You know, he had to come to me and because it's my case, and I had to set him up what I want to do for me to find out certain things. I mean, he just go behind my back and do.
Well, caller. Yeah,
caller. You don't even call me back.
Caller, hold a second, please. Let me just say, because you just thank the lady who tried to get some information and give you some assistance, right? Which is
Chanka,
yes, which is very good, you know. But I know but I spoke with her as well too when she got in touch with you, and she spoke to the lawyer to get some assistance. But what the lawyer had to do, get this in mind. What the lawyer had to do is to try to get as much information from the relevant sources.
Well, I am the relevant source.
No, hold on. But what's in the records? Because the story you were giving about you being in prison for 32 years without a trial, and then all of a sudden on the 8th of June or July, whatever, in what year it was, that you were just released overnight or whatever. And that's that, and you should be compensated, as we all thinking. But in order for the lawyer to go ahead to pursue your case, he needs to get information not only from you, but information that's in the records there that you would have to deal with, to challenge it, the decision, whatever decision was made.
Yeah.
So I believe based on what you're saying, and in my follow-up, I believe that he saw documents where you were tried, and maybe you didn't even realize it, maybe. And verdict. Yeah, I'm just saying. Because they used to bring they used to bring you every month or every other month or months, sometimes in front of a magistrate. Were they?
Yeah.
And what was taking place? Tell us what was taking place.
I was remand.
Yes.
I was on remand.
Okay, yeah, but when they bring you there.
When you go into the magistrate up and down, it's not remand, is?
Yes, but but the reason they bring it to the courts, all right?
Yeah.
Is for them to listen to your case or pass extend judge or whatever. There's a reason for that, right? That for you going there as they would live in the prison and don't even bother with you. So once they bring you in there now, something was taking place maybe that you weren't aware about. Oh, he lost us. Oh, okay, all right. But this case, you remember he called last week, right?
Yeah.
And Val in particular, you know, she went through the pains to make sure that she look into it to give him some assistance. Mm-hmm. And what I was made to understand is that maybe he wasn't aware of a trial that took place. Maybe
think about it, Tim. Think about it. You go into the court. You go into the court. You have been brought to the court every month. Stand and appears before a magistrate. And I guess the question you are trying to ask him: when you go before the magistrate, what happens? Right. What takes place then?
Right.
Of course, he is saying about he's on remand. But when you appear before the magistrate,
there's a reason.
What happens? What happens? You know, what does the magistrate tell you? Or what you tell the magistrate? Or you do? Well, he said he didn't have a lawyer. So I clearly still can't understand how 16 years after this incident, right? And spending 32 years on remand, because I mean you can't go to jail until a sentence is passed. So apparently he's thinking that nothing happened. He wasn't tried. He wasn't tried at any time. He just been going up and down for 32 years or less. Yeah. So I really don't.
Let me see if I get him back. Vibes FM. Caller.
Let's get him back.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Yes.
And how are you?
Okay, not bad at all.
Now, the question you have to ask the guy is if he ever answered the magistrate. That's what go on there, you know. They bring him all the time, but he never answer a charge. So that is why they just dismiss him there, and you don't even know if he. You understand? That's what they do there. You don't answer. You don't answer.
So
you don't answer. You don't know.
So caller, because he doesn't answer, it ends there. You think?
That's how they end it with him. So then he's claiming that he gave father among that time.
But
he don't know that they dismiss him there without asking him. The magistrate asking him question. Don't answer. So that's why he go out.
Well,
that is why I could see certain evidence that he been tried.
But no, I think the lawyer is saying, I think so. I'm not sure based on what I was hearing, but I think the lawyer said that the case was tried, and maybe the penalty of what he served there maybe was appropriate.
He don't know nothing about that. That is just a behind back thing. Do he in the court, but they don't ask him no question because they just accuse him for killing the person.
But so he was brought in every month or whatever.
He wasn't tried.
Right. They just bringing him, but they couldn't. He didn't charge.
Caller,
he was charged. He was charged because in order for them to take him in, they have to charge him. He was charged.
They accuse him.
Yeah, they accuse. Yeah, but in other words, once you accuse, then they're going to get.
That is why the magistrate never ask him, so you don't plead.
So caller,
not guilty.
Caller, hold on. You're saying that he wasn't there wasn't a trial of his matter for what he was charged for.
He going in the court.
No. Was there a trial? Did a trial take place for the offense he was charged for?
They don't call him up and read no charge for him. They don't read no charge for him.
I wish
he don't answer
I wish you'd call back,
And you're saying for 32 years.
Yes, but he don't answer guilty or not. Ask him that question. They call back and ask him that question.
Well, even though you say guilty, even though you say guilty or not guilty, it doesn't mean that if you say not guilty or you don't answer, it doesn't mean that the case finished there. There has to be a trial.
That is why because they didn't have that thing, they just accused him, so they didn't have no strength on him in one farm.
Okay.
Because they must bring lawyers and everything.
Okay, all
right. To defend him too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's. I listen to what you're saying. Yeah.
They just bring him up there and bring him there and just let him go.
Okay. All right. Well, let's hope that he called back because
let him call back and ask him those questions.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess his credit run out, and that's why he wasn't. Yeah, the last time the same thing happened, but I remember speaking to Val again, and Val sent some credit for him, so they could have a conversation because he got the number and everything like that. So but what he's saying and what the decision or what he went through, something is not adding up. Something ain't adding up proper.
Well, there's a system here. I mean, and it's I can't understand how the system, the process and the procedure for the system wasn't adhered to. If you are charged, there has to be a trial, and the trial has to be independent. The trial has to be impartial. I mean, these are things that we all should be aware of. So how could it be impartial? How could it be independent? And so bringing you to the courthouse every single month, and you stand there, and when the court is over, they bring you back up. I think we need to get some more answers. Were you tried? Have you ever gone through a trial? Even though you plead guilty or not guilty, doesn't mean that the trial ends there. That's just the beginning to know how things are going to be. So for 32 years, Tim, I am searching for information myself.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get much more information because I don't think he's really aware of what even really transpired. I'll be honest, I don't think he's aware of what really transpired because
I hear you using the word aware, if he's aware. Who else has to be aware, Kim?
No. Sometimes, sometimes he's not aware. Hold on a minute. We might get a little bit more information about this. Vibes FM, caller, come in. Caller, you next. Caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon. Good
Yes.
afternoon, guys.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good
Okay.
afternoon.
I know you have some information you want to share with us as it pertains to this. Yes.
Yes. Yes. In regards to this gentleman, I really tried to help him. Are you hearing me good?
Yes, we're hearing you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. And I got back the response that he was convicted of murder, but the sentence was commuted by the Governor General.
Okay.
And hence he was released in 2008. He was being accused of murder. I wanted more information, so I checked another lawyer to see if he remembers, and he told me the same thing, that the gentleman had a trial. But something that bothers me, that doesn't satisfy me 100%, because this man was arrested and charged and prior to the revolution. And what happened while he was on remand during the revolution is that he was on remand. So you remember, maybe you remember that our constitution was suspended once the revolution occurred.
Okay. Yes.
I am wondering if the reason why I cannot get the information I'm looking for is because we had a suspended constitution during that time. But he committed okay, not he committed. He is alleged to have committed the offense prior to the revolution. And that's that part, the ticklish, that bothers me. You understand? That part, I cannot find any evidence of his trial or anything. But I was told so by 2 lawyers.
Okay.
They checked and they told me that he was tried. He was found. He was tried and he was found guilty.
Right.
And he was sentenced, and his sentence was commuted by the Governor General, and he was released in 2008. I have to go by that because I don't have anything else to go by. I did not go by one lawyer, I go by 2 lawyers, and who would have checked? I am not in a position to physically check myself.
Okay.
Because I can check online. But what bothered I have a question. My question is, was he charged according to our constitution and tried according to our constitution? Or was he tried and charged according to the revolution, where the constitution was suspended? That is what I need to get clear in my mind.
So hold on. So now, in other words, what you're saying is making some sense, but you have any idea when he was tried? What year?
No. And that's what I'm looking for. That has not been conveyed to me, but I'm still looking for that type of information. In fact, he himself can help me and can help us if he were to go, because these are supposed to be public documents. So he can go searching himself and see what he can come up with to help us.
Yeah, but caller is not aware that he was tried. That's the thing of it.
That's what he said.
Right.
But he also said that. But he also said he went up and down to the court.
Right, and this is what I was trying.
If you're on remand, you don't go. If you're on remand, you don't go up and down to the court like that.
Right. So that's what I was trying to ask him when he went to the court. What happened? what something took place.
That's right.
They wouldn't just bring him there and just put him stand up there and then bring him back, or just bring him there for a trip, a joy ride or whatever.
Right.
No,
That's right. There has to be a trial.
right?
That has to be a trial. When you're on remand, is once you pick you up as a suspect, you go within 48 hours before a magistrate, and that one is the one that puts you on remand. And a
Right.
case like murder is outside the jurisdiction of a magistrate. So he had to be tried by judge and jury, or by judge or by jury.
Yes, I quite agree with that. You know,
You
so
understand?
yeah,
Right. So if once you on remand and they bring you down again, and you go up and down, it's because the trial is continuing.
right, yeah. They put it for another date again to continue. Right. That's the process.
Right. Right. That is the usual process. My little problem is that which doesn't settle with me is, was it according to our constitution, or was it according to military revolution? Well, because the revolution
People's law.
suspended the constitution.
And it was people's
You
law
understand?
in those times. It was people's law number 1, 2, 3, 4, accordingly.
Right. But if I am told by 2 lawyers that he did have a trial and he was found guilty, and his sentence was commuted by the Governor General, he came out in 2008. This is now 2024. Why didn't he get in touch with us
16
when
years
he
ago?
came out? Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it might have been easier, because I have been doing this work, what I do now, since 2015. You know, almost 10 years. So I'm saying, if he had gotten in touch with us back then, I might have been able to be able to help even more. I have to go now by what I'm being told from the records that exist.
Right, and most likely the information that you're getting is in the records, right? I would imagine that. That's what the lawyers, who were assisting you, what came back to you with.
Yes, I would think so, because Grenada has a lot of people, and for you to remember somebody, you have to check the record.
Right.
You have to check somebody.
And then,
you understand?
Right. Okay. And that's what I was trying to tell him now, that the research that was done and they didn't get back to him is because when they realized what transpired, that he was tried, maybe convicted, and he was serving his sentence there was no need to get back to him.
They got back to me. They got back to me, because you have to remember that he is not a client of these lawyers.
Right.
These people work pro bono.
And they work because you got in touch with them.
Pro bono to assist, of course.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
So they got back to me and they gave me the information. So I had to let him know. Maybe if they had found different situation, then they might have dealt with him directly, to say he had no trial. But once they found out that there was a trial, they got back to me.
Right, and that's what I was trying to explain to him. The reason why you were saying that he has the source of information, but not realizing that that's his side, but there is another side with records that needs to be, looked at before a decision could be made.
Right.
Right.
Correct. And if he really wants more done, then he will have to hire a lawyer who, you understand?
Right.
And he has already explained that he doesn't have those resources.
Right.
So that's why I try to help.
Right. Right. Okay. Well.
Okay.
In his open statement, he thanked you very much for the assistance that you gave him. He was very appreciative of that. And so I personally want to thank you too, because I know you've been coming to assist people in many instances in whatever way you can, and you do it pro bono, right?
Of course. All of this is done pro bono.
Yeah.
I'm a social activist, and all my work is pro bono. And I have there are people out there, professionals who work with me pro bono.
Right.
So I am thankful to them too.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well,
Okay.
I'm glad that you came on, to give us some more information as to the final findings, and what could have transpired and everything like that, So hopefully, hold a second, caller. Vibes FM, caller, you on?
Good afternoon.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, caller.
Basketball.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Basketman, hold a second, Basketman, hold on. Okay, Val, yeah,
Okay.
I
So
thought,
I could get off now.
yeah, I thought it was him calling back. I was gonna make you guys talk
Okay.
to one another.
Thank
Okay,
you.
okay, bye bye.
Okay.
Okay, back to you, Basketman. Basketman, yes.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, do you block me on WhatsApp?
No.
Well, I see I blocked on WhatsApp.
Nah, man, no.
From you?
No.
No.
No. We don't block nobody.
I was just saying on WhatsApp and I get to.
What happened? When you call, what happened?
Hello?
When you call, what happened?
Your phone not ringing.
It's not ringing? No, because the call is, there's calls on the line. So sometimes you're trying to get through and there's other calls on the line that wouldn't allow you to.
On the WhatsApp?
On the WhatsApp, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So if you wish to call, call back there, you could, or you could continue, no problem.
Okay, I'm calling, no problem. I'm calling, I have no problem.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
I would like Mr. Andre Donner to leave the right honorable alone, Andy Williams, because he is one who was on the station, I think we are in one station, right, with a hard one at Will Spear. That I knew when we had been stupid this surgery that I was putting him down. Please leave Andy Williams alone. He's the right honorable. We vote for him. And the Prime Minister, he has no problem. I don't know what is. Can you come and tell everyone what is this stupidness and Williams doing? I don't understand this. He's on your house, like somebody tell him. No facts, somebody tell him. So I don't know what happened to this guy. This is very crazy. And I want you to get to on WhatsApp post me a little longer, but I was thinking about the 16 crucified saviors.
Yes.
16 crucified saviors, right? And there is. Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. And I'm praising Jesus. But here's something. Krishna of the angels was a Christ too. And Buddha was a Christ against Indian God. And then we have, your name was I can't pronounce, SALBASANA, Savannah, BRM of Bermuda. So that's good. And then we have JULIS, Jealous of Australia, also out of Egypt, right? And then we have ODIN of the Scandinavia. And then we have TRI2 of CHALDA, Chaldea. And then we have ZOROASTR of MIT, Matra of Persia. And then we have BAAL and CLU, the only begotten of God of PHLITIA. And then we have IGRA of Chile. And then we have BALI of AGH Afghanistan. And then we have JAO of MEPANUL, Nepal. And then we have WITTOBA of the BILINDO NESA. And then we have a lot about Jesus. Tuesday of Syria. And then we have ATYS of PHRYDA. Right? That
So,
country.
so Colin, let
And
me
then
ask.
we have
Yeah, let me hold on. So, what's the point you're trying to make?
the point I'm trying to make, I'm looking to find Jesus. Jesus moving to the hospital down here. And he's not, in crucified Savior book. Someone then will get this guy, this Jesus, to present to the third world circle and say he is the Christ for the kings of the world. So something is wrong with our teaching.
Okay. Okay.
What they present, what they give to us to eat, we eat, I call it that way because if the world thing crucifixion, there is about 40 when Jesus and 60 was crucified, and Jesus is not in it. So where they get this story from to bring this present this Jesus to us, I call it plantation teaching.
Okay.
And this is what the people are supposed to get to know. And they're not looking for any information, they're just going with the flow. And this is where we're going. We're not going anywhere. Last time I was on the radio, I was telling you about the Christmas tree. How they used to hang people on the trees, and when the trees full of people, they make a celebration, how the Christmas tree comes about. So the Jesus story is a fun.
Okay.
So people have to get to know. I know, but you see, we know they tell us what to read. They make us not to read, want to read. So they could just implant in us. And it's very, very, very sad.
Okay.
So, brothers and sisters, the information is there in the real world, but we're not looking for it.
Okay.
Some people try to get to understand. I didn't finish calling them of the things and the country. But another time.
Okay, caller. All right. Okay, thank you so much, Basket Man.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for your contribution there. And it's just about time for us to wrap up today's program right here on Vibes FM. I want to thank you, our listeners, for your participation. Those of you who participated, those of you who called, and whatever way you made a contribution is always appreciated. And you can join us again next week around the same time right here on Vibes FM, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Until then, I'm your humble servant. Yours truly, Kim the King. Been a real pleasure as always. And looking forward to being with you again next week, same time, same place, right here on Vibes FM.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and guests and not the views of this radio station.